Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Magic Card Age. My magic card is super scary. Chapter 81. Gold Star. Summon type Magician Jojigimu, Incarnation of Evil. Golden 3 stars. Rechargeable Tank Shield Guard. The magic card creature Earth Shield Guard summoned by the Earth Tyrant is a humanoid magic card of both puppet and elemental systems. 3 meters tall, his body is made of stone, and he holds a giant shield in each of his hands. Seeing this Earth Shield Guard, Chuhi couldn't think of the magic card creature Iron Shield Guard used by his opponent in the second round of the Underground Magic Card Coliseum Wheel Battle. The Earth Shield Guard and the Iron Shield Guard are very similar in shape. The difference is that Earth Shield Guards hold shields with both hands, while Steel Shield Guards have shields with both hands. Gold level Goblin Magic Card. It's really rare. Come on, let me see your 9 Suns Ghost Mother ability. The Earth Tyrant looked at Chuhi and said. Chuhi smiled and ordered directly to let the 9 Suns and Ghosts attack. The 9 Suns and Ghosts Mother waved the skull staff with her right hand, and the 9 black balls around her body turned into 9 ferocious ghosts. Ghost reinforced. The 9 Suns and Ghost Mother waved the skull staff again. The body of the 9 Ghost Servant turned translucent blue. Following the control of the 9 Suns and Ghost Mother, the 9 Ghost Servants flew towards the Tyrant of the Earth. At the same time, the 9 Suns and Ghost Mother also launched an attack. The ghost ribbons around her body also flew out and flew towards the Earth Shield Guard. The Earth Shield Guard squatted down, and his body began to deform, blocking his body with 2 giant shields. But for a moment, the Earth Shield Guard turned into a boulder. The boulder is completely protected by a giant shield. Seeing the transformation of the Earth Shield Guard, Chuhi was a little stunned. And such. This style of play is really lame. However, this style of play is also suitable for the rank of the magic card space, as well as the battle that does not hurt life. If it is a life and death battle, this Earth Shield Guard is equivalent to abolishing himself. After all, in the battle of life and death, the enemy can direct the magic card creature to kill the magic card master. The Earth Tyrant had a smug smile on his face. The Earth Shield Guard is his most proud magic card. And it is a magic card that he specially created for the magic card space rank battle. The most powerful part of the Earth Shield Guard is that it can absorb enemy attacks and recharge. And the Earth Shield Guard can also reduce some physical attacks and elemental attacks. In the magic card space rank battle, since he created the Earth Shield Guard, he has never lost, and he has won streak all the way. But this time, he was out of luck and met Chuhi. The 9 Suns and Ghost Mothers have the passive Kid and Mother Ghosts. When the 9 Ghost Servant attacks the target of the 9 Suns and Ghost Mother, it can ignore the defense. No matter how strong the Earth Shield Guard's defense is, it is meaningless. The Ghost Ribbon flew to the Earth Shield Guard first, and the Ghost Ribbon could be deformed at will under the control of the 9 Suns and Ghost Mother. The Ghost Ribbon hardened, forming a long spear and attacking the Earth Shield Guard. Although the Ghost Ribbon's attack was ineffective, when the 9 Ghost Servants approached, their claws easily pierced the shield of the Earth Shield Guard, causing damage to them. Ignore the defense. Seeing this, the Earth Tyrant showed a strange look on his face. He smiled bitterly, feeling helpless in his heart. He didn't expect the 9 Suns and Ghost Mother to have an attack that ignores defenses. Earth Shield Guard is really strong, but if you face an attack that ignores your defenses, you will definitely lose. He was also very decisive and surrendered directly. After all, Magicka creatures with defense-ignoring abilities are very rare. When he met Chuhi, he could only admit that he was unlucky. Continue to fight, and the one who loses will also be him. Instead of continuing to hold on, it is better to surrender. As the saying goes, the wise man has surrendered and started the next set. Chuhi won, but he didn't come to win, but to try the fighting ability of the 9 Suns and Ghosts. Chuhi continued to start the next magic card space tier battle. After another 9 rank battles, Chuhi has a deeper understanding of the fighting power of the 9 Suns and Ghosts. Overall, Chuhi is very satisfied with the fighting ability of the 9 Suns and Ghosts. The 9 Ghost Servant can not only be used as a meat shield, but can also transform into a form, able to deal with different types of enemies. Ghost Ribbon is a skill that can not only change form at will, but also bind the enemy. In addition, the 9 Child Ghost Mother who has the passive, Zimugi can also increase the attack power after the child ghost servant is killed. It is a very comprehensive and powerful magic card. Return to reality from the magic card space. Chu-hee intends to continue to challenge the babble. Chu-hee quickly left the villa area and entered the campus. At this time, Chu-hee saw a large number of students, all running in one direction. Out of curiosity, Chu-hee also followed. Finally arrived at the magic card battle training hall of the school. Seeing that the entrance of the He training center was full of people, Chu walked over to grab a student and asked, "What happened?" The student who was being held was a little impatient, but when he saw that it was Chu-hee, he immediately laughed. "The people from Gangyi Academy are here to challenge." People from Gangyi Academy came to challenge. Gangyi Academy, isn't it the second-ranked institution of higher learning for magic card masters? And it's still a military academy, what do their people come to challenge? Chu-hee asked curiously. To prove my strength. It's like this every year. Not only Gangyi Institute, but some people in other institutes who are confident in their own strength will choose to challenge students from other institutes to prove themselves. Our Tianwu Academy also had a very strong student before, and the other party also went to other schools to challenge, and won 100 consecutive battles. It's a tradition anyway. Hearing the student's words, Chu-hee became more and more curious. Chu-hee was cheeky, squeezed into the crowd, and walked into the training hall. In the training hall, there was a burly man standing on the ring with his hands behind his back. Beside him, there is also a magic card creature that is similar to his height, has 6 arms, and has muscles all over the body. The mocha creature is bald, with dark blue skin and wearing a pair of wrestling shorts. It looks a bit like the monster in Pokemon, but with 2 more arms. Students of Tianwu Academy, I am Du Gang, a third-year student of Gangyi Academy. I brought my magic card creature, the 6th Order Devil, to challenge you today. The 6-armed devil is a warrior-type magic card creature with 5 gold stars. I will accept any challenge from a magic card creature below 9 gold stars. I don't know who is willing to fight me. The man who called himself Du Gang shouted loudly as he looked at the crowd standing at the entrance of the training hall. Hearing his words, no one at the entrance of the training hall made a sound. After all, this 6-armed devil is a 5-star gold magic card creature, and most of the students present only have silver-level magic card creatures. To challenge Du Gang is undoubtedly asking for trouble. Even those who possess the golden magic card have no idea to challenge, and if they lose, it will be too embarrassing. Seeing that no one dared to challenge, Du Gang shook his head. It's no wonder that your Tianwu Academy has been ranked lower and lower among the higher magic card master academies recently. I've come to my door, but none of you dare to fight. I'm really disappointed. Since none of you dare to challenge, then I won't waste time in your college. After Du Gang finished speaking, he gave everyone a provocative look, which was extremely open. Arrogant. This is Tianwu Academy, not your Resolute Academy. And it is not us who will challenge you, but you will challenge us. There was a loud shout of dissatisfaction outside the training hall crowd. The crowd dispersed, and a man in a black shirt and jeans walked in. It's Wang Bing's senior. Senior Wang Bing, teach him severely. Senior Wang Bing, let this reckless man understand the power of our Tianwu Academy. Senior Wang Bing is here, then this guy can't get up mad, so he will be ruthlessly cleaned up, so that he will never dare to come to Tianwu Academy again. When everyone saw this man coming, they all spoke up. Wang Bing enjoyed the feeling of being praised by everyone. He looked at Du Gang and said loudly, Tianwu Academy is not a place to let you go wild. Have the ability, come on stage to fight. Du Gang looked at Wang Bing, his voice indifferent. Wang Bing snorted coldly, since you want to taste the bitter fruit of defeat, then I will make you perfect. After Wang Bing finished speaking, he stepped onto the ring. Senior Wang Bing, come on, clean up him fiercely. Senior Wang Bing, let him see how powerful our Tianwu Academy is. The crowd saw Wang Bing stepping onto the ring, cheering and shouting again. Wang Bing raised his hands, pressed it down, and said loudly, don't worry, fellow students. I will let this guy understand how stupid it is to come to our Tianwu Academy to find faults. After he finished speaking, he took out his magic card. Golden 5 stars, Strike Fighter Shofar Swordsman. Wang Bing realized his magic card creature. This shofar swordsman is a goat man with 2 horns on his head. He is 3 meters tall and burly in shape. Behind him is a huge sword. Right. Wang Bing looked at Du Gang with an arrogant expression. Come on. Du Gang smiled. The 6-armed demon walked forward from behind him. The shofar swordsman also took down the huge sword behind and held it in both hands. Shofar swordsman, kill him. Wang Bing gave an order. The shofar swordsman's body suddenly accelerated, quickly approached the 6-armed demon, and slashed with a sword. Monument. A loud noise. One arm of the 6-armed demon made a fist and swung out, and the latter hit the scorpion swordsman in the abdomen first. The powerful force caused the shofar swordsman's body to bend down suddenly. Next, the 6 hands of the 6-armed demon made a fist and gave a sharp hammer to the shofar swordsman. In less than 10 seconds, the shofar swordsman fell to the ground, convulsing his whole body. Ha ha ha, are you here to be funny? What's the matter with your magic card creature? Is it really the strength of the golden 5-star? This is really weak beyond my imagination. Could it be that this is the student strength of Tianwu Academy? If this is the case, I think your Tianwu Academy's ranking in the higher Magic Card Master Academy is still inflated. Du Gang made no secret of his emotions and laughed loudly. On the other hand, Wang Bing's face has turned the color of pig liver now. Looking at the swordsman with horns who fell to the ground, his body twitching constantly, Wang Bing trembled with anger. His shofar swordsman is a strong attack warrior. The strong attack type is the type that warrior magicka is best at frontal attack. But now the shofar swordsman and the 6-armed demon were in a head-to-head conflict, and they were killed in less than 10 seconds. For him, this is simply a shame to throw it at his grandma's house. Hey, talk to you. Do you have any other magic cards? If you have any more, you can continue. But you take this waste back first, it's an eyesore. Du Gang looked at Wang Bing and laughed. Wang Bing looked embarrassed now. He turned the shofar swordsman into a magic card and took it back, then left the ring without saying a word, squeezed out of the crowd gathered at the entrance of the training hall, and walked away quickly. You people from Tianwu Academy only have this strength. The strength is too weak, completely vulnerable. If you are not convinced, just come and challenge. If no one comes to challenge, then I won't waste time in your school. Du shouted loudly. Are all the people in Gangi Academy as crazy as you? An indifferent voice sounded from the crowd. A man wearing glasses and looking very gentle stepped out of the crowd. It's Senior Li Feng. This Du Gang is finished. Senior Li Feng is the 3rd-ranked powerhouse in the Tongtian Pagoda. To solve this Du Gang, he will definitely be caught. Senior Li Feng, clean up this guy ruthlessly, give him a memory and let him know not to be so crazy. When Li Feng heard everyone's words, he said indifferently, I know what Qian Li should do, you all be quiet. Li Feng stepped onto the ring and took out his magic card. Golden 6 stars. Furious Warrior Giant Bear Boxer. Li Feng materialized his magic card creature. A bear, a black bear with a height of 5 meters and gloves on both hands. To be precise, it should be more suitable for people. This giant bear boxer is standing, his hands and legs are extremely thick. He also wears a black blindfold over his left eye. When he grinned, a ferocious fang was exposed. Du Gang, right. I'm here to show you what a real magic card battle is. Li Feng said coldly. The words fell, Li Feng snapped his fingers, and the giant bear boxer rushed towards the 6-armed devil. Although the giant bear boxer is huge, his speed is not slow. After getting close to the 6-armed devil, his right hand punched the 6-armed devil's head, directly knocking him out. So fast. Chu looked surprised when he saw the giant bear boxer's attack. He didn't even see the trajectory of the giant bear boxer's punch, only saw the giant bear boxer stretch out his right hand. The next moment, the 6-armed demon was sent flying with a punch. This is the strength of the Tower of Babel to challenge the 3rd position. Chu, he thought to himself. Senior Li Feng is great. Senior Li Feng, deal with him ruthlessly. Don't be merciless and teach him a lesson he will never forget. When everyone saw Li Feng's giant bear boxer punching the 6-armed demon, they all cheered loudly. When the 6-armed demon stood up from the ground, Du Gang sneered, it's interesting. Then next, I'm welcome. The words fell, and the 6-armed demon roared, power, 60%. Visible tendons appeared on his 6 arms, and the arms became more sturdy. The current 6 arms of the 6-armed demon were nearly twice as thick as before. Even though the size of the 6-armed demon is smaller, his deterrent power is stronger now. Pretending to be, Li Feng snorted and ordered the powerful boxer to attack. The giant bear boxer approached the opponent with a forward sliding step, and then hit the 6-armed demon's face with an uppercut. His punch hit the face of the 6-armed demon, and the body of the 6-armed demon was beaten back several steps with this punch. Boxer, use continuous jabs. Li Feng shouted loudly. After getting the order, the giant bear boxer, after all, the 6-armed demon, his hands kept punching the 6-armed demon's head. The body of the 6-armed demon is like a lone boat in the ocean, constantly shaking left and right. When he suffered dozens of punches in a row, his body fell to the ground. Are you served? Li Feng looked at Du Gang and said coldly. Clothes, are you making me laugh? Du Gang said with disdain. 6-armed demon, stand up and use 100% of his power. Du Gang shouted loudly. Upon receiving the order, the 6-armed demon stood up from the ground. The injury on his face began to heal on its own at a speed visible to the naked eye. Strength, 100%. The 6-armed demon growled. He bent down slightly, clenched 6 hands on his chest, and his skin gradually turned red. On the head of the 6-armed demon, 2 terrifying bends slowly grew. And the height of the body of the 6-armed waist person is also increasing. When the 6-armed demon's height increased to 3 meters, he stopped. Although his current height is still not as good as the giant bear boxer, his momentum has become stronger now. Especially his 6 arms, just like 6 steel pillars, exuding metallic luster. It seems that there are still some strong people in Tianwu Academy. It has been a long time since no magic card creature can force my 6-armed demon to use 100% of its power. Du Gang looked at Li Feng and said proudly. Arrogant. Do you really think that only your magic card creature has the second form? Li Feng said coldly. Giant bear boxer, enter boxing champion form. Li Feng shouted loudly. Upon receiving the order, the giant bear boxer let out a low growl, and the gloves he wore on both hands suddenly shattered. And his body has a distorted sense of sight. Unexpectedly, the body of the giant bear boxer is not increasing by 870 people, but gradually shrinking. When the giant bear boxer shrank to a height of only about 3 meters, he stopped. The giant bear boxer at this time, compared with just now, lacked that oppressive force. But the giant bear boxer at this time, his body looks more vigorous, without the cumbersomeness of bear-like creatures at all. Use all your strength to solve him. Li Feng gave an order. The giant bear boxer put on a boxing stance, approached the 6-armed demon with a boxing slide, and launched a fierce attack. The 6-armed demon guarded his head, chest, and abdomen with 6 hands. Let the giant bear boxer's fist fall on his arm. He saw the fighting between the giant boxer and the 6-armed demon, licked his lips, his eyes showed fiery eyes. The outstanding students of Tianwu Academy and Resolute Academy, the strength is really good. This giant boxer and this 6-armed demon are very powerful. I don't know who is stronger than my Jojigimu. He secretly said in his heart. He didn't play before, it's not that he is afraid. He just didn't think it was necessary to show off. If he really wants to fight, he will never be afraid. After all, when he was in the cave world, facing so many foreign magic card masters, he dared to stay and break, what else would he not dare? However, he felt that he should not have a chance to shoot. Li Feng's giant bear boxer is very strong. Especially the speed at which the giant bear boxer punches, it is almost a phantom. Although Du Gang's 6-armed demon all prevented the giant bear boxer from attacking. But defense alone cannot win the battle. It depends on how long this 6-armed demon can last. But the development of things was somewhat unexpected. He saw a smile on the face of the 6-armed demon. Without warning, one hand of the 6-armed demon clenched a fist and directly hit the giant bear boxer's head. The powerful force dented the head of the giant bear boxer. Next, the 6-armed demon launched a counterattack. The giant bear boxer fell to the ground with serious injuries. You lose, but you are a good opponent. You are proud of being able to suppress my 6-armed demon for so long. Du Gang said proudly. Li Feng's face was very gloomy. Looking at the seriously injured giant boxer, he turned it into a magic card and took it back, leaving the broadcast station without saying a word. Is there someone stronger? Du Gang looked at the crowd and shouted. Facing Du Gang's gaze, many people bowed their heads, not daring to look at each other. Just connecting the Sky Tower to challenge the third-rank Li Feng lost, except for the two people who challenged the Sky Tower to challenge the first and second people, who would dare to go up. With so many people, no one dares to challenge. You can fight on wheels. No matter how many people come to challenge. Du Gang said proudly. Chu He, go and challenge him. With your strength, it should be possible. A boy looked at Chu He and whispered. Yes, classmate Chu He, you broke through 150 floors of the Tongtian Pagoda in one day yesterday. With your strength, you should be able to defeat him. Someone next to him said. When Chu He heard the words, he went straight to the ring. He also just wanted to try the power of the 9 sons and ghost mothers. After all, the magic card space tier battle balanced the strength. In the real magic card battle, what kind of combat power the 9 sons and ghost mothers can exert is the most important. Chu He, come on, it's up to you. Chu He, you must beat him. Classmate Chu He, defeat him and preserve the face of Tianwu Academy. The cheers of the crowd sounded again. But when they saw Chu He embodied the 9-child ghost mother, their cheers came. Gold 1-star magic card creature. It looks like you were put on the shelf by a duck. You better go down, your magic card creature is too weak. It doesn't mean anything to win you. Du Gang said indifferently while looking at Chu He. Chu He heard the words and smiled faintly. Magic card battle, before there is no battle, no one knows the result. Do you really think you've taken me down? Du Gang's face sank when he heard Chu He's words. Since you don't know what is good or bad, then I won't save you face. Du Gang said coldly. Du Gang finished speaking and ordered the 6-armed demon to attack. The 6-armed demon was still in a state of 100% power, and his skin turned red. 9 sons and ghost mother, do it. Chu He gave an order. The 9-child ghost mother summoned the 9 ghost slave, let the 9 ghost slave enter the ghost form, and rush towards the 6-armed demon. At the same time, the 9 sons of the ghost mother waved the skull staff, and the ghost ribbon around her body flew out and flew towards the 6-armed demon. The ghost ribbon approached the 6-armed demon and directly bound his body. Boring. Trick. Du Gang snorted coldly. The 6 arms of the 6-armed demon used force to break away the ghost ribbon. Seeing the servant of the 9 ghosts approaching, he attacked with 6 arms. The fist of the 6-armed demon can release strong wind pressure. Even if the 9 ghost servants enter the ghost form, they are immune to physical attacks, but they are not immune to the wind pressure released by fist attacks. The servants of the 9 ghosts were killed by the 6-armed demon one after another. Summoning magician. It's a joke. Du Gang shook his head with a look of disdain. The good show only begins now. Chu He said indifferently. Having lost the slave of the 9 ghosts, the body of the mother of 9 ghosts slowly released a black yin air. Yin Qi wrapped the body of Juzi Gimu. Huh, does your magic card creature also have a second form? It seems that you can also bring me a little surprise. Du Gang looked at Chu He with a warlike expression. Surprise. Chu He sneered when he heard Du Gang's words. Soon, the other party will know whether it is a surprise or a fright. The yin enveloping the mother of 9 sons and ghosts continued to spread. When the yin qi exuding from the 9 sons and ghost mothers, it enveloped nearly half of the broadcast station. A strong chill gushes from the broadcast station. The students at the entrance of the training hall felt that the temperature had begun to drop sharply. What's the matter? How can the temperature suddenly drop? Goosebumps all over my body are coming out. What's the matter with Chu He's second form of Jojigimu? The people are talking about it. When they saw the yin qi on the ring gradually dissipated and turned into the evil form of the 9-child ghost mother, many girls were scared and their faces changed greatly. At this time, the 9 sons and ghost mothers looked extremely human. Black and skinny body, face protection like evil spirits, black hair becomes long and drags on the ground, the nails of the fingers of both hands are as sharp as blades, the blood-colored dress on the body forms a sharp contrast with the black body, creating a great vision contrast. The evil form of 9 sons and ghost mothers are like ghosts in horror movies. Not to mention the girls present, even some boys, seeing the evil form of the 9 sons and ghost mothers, were frightened. After all, the ghost monsters are rare, and the appearance of the evil form of the 9 sons and ghosts makes them fear. Du Gang was also taken aback when he saw the evil 9 sons and ghost mothers. This is the second form of the ghost card, and this look is too oozing. Du Gang saw his scalp tingling. Especially seeing the black eyes of Juzi Gimu, his body trembles unconsciously. 6-armed demon, kill her. Du Gang shouted after suppressing his fear of the appearance of the 9-child ghost mother. The 6-armed devil received the order and rushed towards the 9 sons and ghosts with a frantic expression. Before he could get close to the 9 sons and ghosts, the 9 sons and ghosts disappeared. When the 9 sons and ghost mother reappeared, it was behind the 6-armed devil. The 5 fingers of the right hand of the mother of 9 sons and ghosts pierced into the back of the 6-armed devil, and penetrated from the abdomen. Puff! Blood spurted from the mouth of the 6-armed demon, and his body slowly fell to the ground. The 9 sons and ghost mother pulled out her right hand and looked at the 6-armed devil indifferently. She opened her mouth, and a ghost hand emerged from her mouth, grabbing towards the neck of the 6-armed devil. 9 sons and ghosts, stop! Chu He ordered. After receiving Chu He's order, the ghost hand that emerged from the mouth of the 9 sons and ghost mother slowly retracted into her mouth. You lost, Chu He said, looking at Du Gang. Du Gang's face was pale now. He did not expect that the 6-armed demon man was seriously injured by a single blow when the entry force was 100%. Seeing the bloodstains left on the right hand of the 9 sons and ghosts mother, he swallowed his saliva forcefully, feeling his scalp a little numb. He took a deep look at Chu He, and without saying a word, turned the 6-armed devil into a magic card and took it back, then walked off the broadcasting station and walked towards the entrance of the training hall. The crowd standing at the door separated, and Du Gang left quickly. And Chu He also turned the 9 sons and ghost mothers into magic cards and took them back, and walked off the ring. But what greeted Chu He was not applause, but fear. The evil form of the 9 sons and ghost mothers left a shadow in their hearts. Now they don't even dare to say congratulations to Chu He. Chu He didn't care at all, and strode out of the training hall. When Chu He left, people started talking. What kind of circumstances do you think classmate Chu He created such a waste card? Who knows, but someone once said that the image of a magic card creature represents the heart of a magic card master. Chu He created such a magic card, do you think there will be problems in his heart? I don't know, anyway, I won't dare to approach Chu He anymore. His magic card is so terrifying, who knows what's going on in his heart. It's a little bad for you to say that. After all, classmate Chu He defeated Du Gang, and even Senior Wang Bing and Senior Li Feng lost to Du Gang. Classmate Chu He defeated him, which is a win for our Tianwu Academy. To win glory is to win glory, but can you be sure in what state he created the magic card of the 9 sons and ghosts? What does this have to do with his magic card? I don't think Chu He has any psychological problems. Since you don't think Chu He has any psychological problems, don't you think it's funny that he defeated Du Gang just now, and he didn't see you congratulate him, and he's just coming after him? All the people were arguing about the state in which Chu He created the magic card of the 9 sons and ghost mother. As the client, Chu He walked outside the tower, ready to challenge the tower again. Chu He doesn't care what others think of him, after all, he can't control other people's thoughts. What other people think is someone else's business, and he doesn't care at all. Outside the Babel Tower, Chu He walked in and continued to challenge from the 150th floor. The rules on the 150th floor are a little different. The magic card creature strength used by the challenger is limited to 1 gold star. If the challenger's magic card creature strength does not reach the gold 1 star, the original star level will be maintained. The opponents on the 150th floor were 3 gold and 2 star magic card creatures. It's really a coincidence. Chu He did not expect that the magic card creature to challenge on the 151st floor would become a gold level. It just so happened that he created the 9-child ghost mother with 1 gold star. Realize the mother of 9 ghosts, Chu He begins to break through. In the principal's office of Tianwu Academy, Xiao Chong, who is too old, is in the office, drinking tea and watching the video of Chu He vs. Du Gang playing on the computer with a smile on his face. This Chu He magic card creature is really powerful. Even Li Feng's giant bear boxer is not an opponent's 6-armed devil, but he was hit hard by his magic card creature. And his 9-child ghost mother magic card creature is only 1 gold star. With such potential, it is a good seedling. Xiao Chong said to himself. Old principal, Chu-hee's magic card is amazing. But there's so much talk about him now. Among the students who watched the magic card battle, many thought that Chu-hee had a mental problem. In front of the full desk, stood a man with a Chinese character face and a clean beard, wearing a gray suit. He is the director of the Academic Affairs Office of Tianmu Academy, Lu Jian. Those students think there is something wrong with Chu-hee's psychology. Hee, isn't this a joke? Chu-hee has chosen a face for our school, and those people still think that Chu-hee has a psychological problem, and those who think so have a psychological problem. Magic card creatures, no matter what their appearance is, there is only one thing that matters, and that is whether they are strong or not. Platinum level wild beast nightmare rabbit, its appearance is more well-behaved than ordinary rabbits, but are there fewer desert-suppressing troops who died in the hands of Nightmare Free? When those students see the nightmare rabbit, will they hug each other because of their cute appearance? Just because the appearance of the magic card creature is terrifying, is it not funny to determine whether the magic card master who created this magic card has a psychological condition? Xiao Chong said with a sullen face. Old principal, you were right to say that. But now the fishing reels are not good for Chu-hee. Those students think that Chu-hee's mentality is very abnormal, and some people even preach about making Chu-hee drop out of school. Lu Jian said. Xiao Lu, you are the director of the Academic Affairs Office, aren't you supposed to deal with these matters? Xiao Chong asked rhetorically. Hearing this, Lu Jian smiled bitterly. Principal, I really can't handle this matter. Why can't it be done? Who dares to spread the matter of making Chu-hee drop out of school, and directly record the major demerit? Xiao Chang's face became a little unhappy. Old principal, suppressing this matter might be counterproductive. Lu Jian said helplessly. Counterproductive. Xiao Lu, it seems that you don't want to be the director of the Academic Affairs Office, don't you? If you don't want to be, then you can abdicate immediately. There are many people who want to take your position, you should be very clear in your heart. Xiao Chong said solemnly. When Lu Jian heard this, he only responded with a wry smile. Okay, I'll leave this matter to you. These students today are really disappointing. Because of the horrible appearance of the magic card creatures created by Chu-hee, do you think that Chu-hee has a psychological problem? Do they all have no brains? If they go to the wilderness to fight with wild beasts in the future, or enter the demon cave to fight against alien magicians, and see bloody scenes, they won't be allowed to wet their pants on the spot. In the end, it's still too good to protect these students. If the people above didn't allow us to disclose the things about the devil's lair, I really want to throw these innocent children into the devil's lair and let them feel what it means to be terrified. Xiao Chong scolded angrily. Seeing Xiao Chong lose his temper, Lu Jian didn't dare to say more and left the office immediately. After leaving the office, Lu Jian let out a long sigh of relief. He rubbed his eyebrows and felt a little headache about this matter. If it is really forced to suppress, he is worried that things will backfire, and make those students think that the university is helping Chu-hee, which will appear to be overwhelming. Headache. Lu Jian sighed softly and shook his head. After thinking about it again and again, Lu Jian intends to talk to Chu-hee to see what Chu-hee thinks about this matter. Lu Jian walked out of the office building quickly. He saw a lot of people gathered near the Tongtian Pagoda, and walked over quickly. Seeing Chu-hee challenged on the electronic screen, Lu Jian was a little surprised. Is this the 161st floor? The challenge of Chu-hee is too fast, right? Lu Jian said in his heart. But when he heard the discussion among the students on the side, he almost didn't get angry. Look at it, Chu-hee's 9-child demon and mother demon card is too cruel. The 9 ghosts she controls have torn apart the demon card creatures set by the Tongtian Tower challenge. The ability to create this kind of magic card creature shows that Chu-hee must have a psychological problem. Yes, it is said that each other is born from the heart, and the magic card creature is the heart of our magic card master. Chu-hee created such a terrifying magic card creature, his heart must be very dark. In the future, don't have any contact with Chu-hee. In case he is some kind of psychological BT person, contact with him is dangerous. Hearing these words, Lu Jian couldn't wait to sew up the mouths of the students who spoke. But with freedom of speech, even if he blocked their mouths, he couldn't change their minds. It seems that as the old principal said, these students are too young. I haven't seen any blood before. I think Chuhi's magic card creature is too terrifying. If they were thrown into the Devil's Cave or the wilderness, and let them fight with the alien magic card master and the desolate beast, their concept should be changed. Lu Jian secretly said in his heart. Yes, the best way to solve this matter is to let them see the real blood and horror. Lu Jian's eyes lit up, and he thought of a way to solve this matter. The existence of the demon cave is not allowed to be revealed. But the wilderness is no problem. Tianwu City is near the number 26 Army headquarters. He can organize a trip to the wilderness so that the students can experience the horror of the wilderness. After seeing the beast attacking the city and feeling the fear brought by the death threat, you will no longer think that Chuhi's magic card creature has a problem. Lu Jian was very satisfied with the method he thought of. Thinking of a solution, Lu Jian immediately returned to the Academic Affairs office to arrange the matter. As for talking with Chuhi and asking Chuhi's thoughts, you can also put it later, and don't worry about it for the time being. When Lu Jian returned to the Academic Affairs office, he convened a meeting with all the teachers in the school. After half an hour, all the teachers gathered in the conference room. Lu Jian sat upright, looked at the teachers present, and said, I decided to let the students have a wilderness experience. Hearing Lu Jian's words, the teachers in the conference room all looked astonished. Director Lu, is this too dangerous? Experience in the wilderness, if you are careless, you may lose your life. Yes, Director Lu, the wilderness is too dangerous. Although there are many strong students in the school, they have never experienced life and death battles. Let them go to the wilderness. What if something happens? Facing the doubts of the teachers, Lu Jian said with a sullen face, our school is cultivating magic card masters, not cultivating flowers in a greenhouse. Military Theology Academy and Gangi Academy, why are these two schools ranking first and second in the country's higher magic card master schools all year round? The reason is that the students of both of their colleges will go to the wilderness for training in their sophomore year. So, I also consider letting our students go to the wilderness to experience the real battle and feel the pressure of death. Only in this way can they grow faster. Hearing Lu Jian's words, a female teacher got up and questioned, Director Lu, both the Military Theology Institute and the Gangi Institute are both military schools. Their schools are all training soldiers. Tianwu Academy is not a military school. Is it necessary for students to go to the wilderness to experience? What should I do if the students are in danger when they go to the wilderness experience? How does our school explain to the parents of the students? Lu Jian glanced at the female teacher who questioned her, and said in a deep voice, then I don't know how to train students according to your opinion, Teacher Xie. Simply, teach them theoretical knowledge. Tell them how to create magic cards. Do you know where the materials in the material library come from? Aren't the soldiers of the town army brought back after killing the wild beast? Without the famine suppression army, how could we have so many materials? How to create magic cards without materials? Do you think it is enough for the students of our academy to use the materials exchanged by the magic card space? Why can a powerful magician get such a high status in society? Isn't it because those powerful magic card masters are guarding our country and fighting wild beasts? Is it wrong to let the students go to the wilderness for training and let them feel the responsibilities of a magic card master? The teacher Xie who questioned Lu Jian was suddenly speechless by Lu Jian's words. I'm just worried that the students will go to the wilderness to practice. If they encounter danger, we can't explain it to the parents of the students. Teacher Xie whispered. Can't explain to the parents of the students. What do we need to account for? Have you forgotten why the Blue Sky Academy, which was originally ranked 9th in the National Higher Magic Card Master Academy, was removed 5 years ago? Blue Sky Academy is near the number 6 military headquarters. At that time, the number 6 military headquarters was invaded by a large-scale barren beast. The army was killed and injured heavily. There were less than 30 people, and even less than 1% of the total number of students. In the end, it was the nearby desert army who came to support and killed the wild beasts that had invaded the city. Because of this incident, it angered the Magic Card Master's Ministry of Education, thinking that the students trained by Lanshan Academy are a bunch of waste, and finally banned the qualification of Lanshan Academy. Tianwu Academy is near the number 26 military headquarters. If one day the number 26 military headquarters is also attacked by a large-scale wild beast, and the wild beast invades the city. How many students in our academy do you think dare to fight with the wild beast? Fight! Lu Jian shouted loudly. Teacher Xie was so dumbfounded by Lu Jian's roar that she didn't dare to speak anymore, so she lowered her head and sat down honestly. Let's inform you now that the whole school student meeting will be held tomorrow, and all students above the second year must participate in the wilderness experience. And every semester in the future, the school will organize a wilderness experience. If anyone is unwilling to go, then keep the class. Those who repeat their grades for 2 years will be expelled. As for your worries that students' accidents will be troubled by their parents, this matter is very simple. Let the students bring back the waiver signed by their parents before they go to the wilderness. If their parents disagree, the result is the same. Let the students repeat the grade. Tianwu Academy's educational philosophy, it's time to change it. Otherwise, a batch of useless people will be cultivated, and it will be uncomfortable to think about it. Lu Jian said solemnly. 0. He now remembered that outside the Tongtian Tower, he was very angry when he heard those students talking about Chu He. He must make the students change their views. He wants the students to realize that the most important thing about magic card creatures is not the outside, but the strength. What if the appearance of the discarded card creature is horrible? As long as the magic card creatures are strong and can exert powerful combat power in battle, that is the most important thing. Otherwise, how does the card master guard the wilderness cave? The meeting is over. Lu Jian shouted loudly. After leaving the meeting room, Lu Jian walked outside the Tongtian Tower again. Seeing that Chu He continues to challenge. Now Chu He has challenged to the 172nd floor and has broken the record for the highest clearance among students in the school. This Chu He is really a good seed, Lu Jian said with emotion in his heart. Lu Jian looked at Chu He's challenge on the electronic screen. I am more and more satisfied with Chu He's strength. If all the students in the school are like this Chu He, that would be great. Lu Jian thought in his heart. But this kind of thing can only be thought of. A genius like Chu He hasn't been recruited by universities for many years. He felt content to receive such a genius as Chu He this year. He quietly watched Chu He's challenge. Until about 1 p.m., Chu He withdrew from the challenge after successfully clearing the 187th floor. Seeing Chu He coming out of the Tongtian Tower, the students around immediately avoided. Chu He saw that many students looked at him with fear, with a sneer at the corner of his mouth, and walked away quickly. Lu Jian caught up with Chu He and said with a smile, Chu He, this is Lu Jian, the director of the Academic Affairs Department, can you talk? I'm going to eat. If Director Lu didn't eat, then let's be together. Chu He smiled. Lu Jian smiled and nodded, and went to the school cafeteria with Chu He. After ordering the food, while taking advantage of the time before serving, Lu Jian said, Student Chu He, before you defeated Du Gang who was challenging with your 9 Sons demon card, so many students felt that are you scared, do you know? Chu He heard the words and smiled. Director Lu, what do you want to say? I want to know what do you think of this matter? Lu Jian asked. I don't have any opinions, and I can't control other people's thoughts. It's their business what they think. Chu He said nonchalantly. You defeated Du Gang and defended our Tianwu Academy, but you were feared and alienated by others. Aren't you angry? Lu Jian asked. Angry? What qualifications do they have to be mad at me? A bunch of guys who haven't seen the world. They think my magic card looks terrifying. In my opinion, they are just flowers in the greenhouse. After they have been on the battlefield and felt the pressure of death, they will understand that the most important thing about magic card creatures is strength. As long as the magic card creature is strong, that is the most important. Chu He said lightly. Hearing this, Lu Jian's face changed slightly, and he asked tentatively, Student Chu He, is it possible that you have been to that place? Hearing Lu Jian's words, Chu He's face also showed a strange look. He did not expect Lu Jian to ask such a question. Director Lu, where is the place you mentioned? Chu He asked tentatively. You can't talk nonsense about the word, Devil's Cave. That would be punishable by treason. Seeing Chu He's cautious expression, Lu Jian showed a smile on his face. He picked up 2 chopsticks and put them on the table, connected one end of the 2 chopsticks and placed them diagonally, forming a right-angled shape. When Chu He saw this, He also picked up 2 chopsticks and placed them in the same form. They connected the 2 chopsticks with the 2 chopsticks set by Lu Jian to form a diamond shape. When Lu Jian saw this, he chuckled lightly and scattered his chopsticks. Chu He, you really brought me a lot of surprises. I didn't expect you to have been to that place too. Lu Jian smiled. He put his chopsticks in that shape just now, only those who have seen strangers will understand. After all, there is a diamond-shaped crystal on the forehead of a foreigner. Chu He can use 2 chopsticks to splice the shape of his chopsticks into a diamond shape, which obviously means that Chu He has entered the magic cave. If you change to someone who has never been to the Devil's Cave, you don't understand the meaning of what he did. Stay there for a few days. Chu He smiled. By the way, I remember that during the Youth Magic Card Master competition in your province, 3 of the top 4 players abstained. Could it be that time? Lu Jian asked. Yes, it was indeed at that time that something went wrong in that place. After the 3 people abstained, they went to that place, and then I went to that place because of curiosity. Chu He said. It turned out to be so, but what do you think of that place? Lu Jian asked curiously. A very cruel place, where the enemy is very strong, and I almost died in the hands of the enemy. Fortunately, I killed the enemy. Chu He smiled. Chu He, you are really amazing. No wonder you can't feel the immature feeling of other students from your body. So you have been to that kind of place, which makes sense. By the way, a school-wide student conference will be held tomorrow, and I will send all the sophomores and above students to the wilderness to experience. Lu Jian said. Organize students to go to the wilderness for experience. Director Lu, in my opinion, this is a thankless thing, why would you do it? Chu He heard the words, curiously asked. Chu He, this time you defeated Du Gang with your magic card and saved the face of our college, but those students were afraid of your magic card and talked about you. This incident makes the principal very angry. The principal thinks that the current students have not seen blood, just like the flowers in the greenhouse, so they will make things about you. If you let them see the blood and feel the pressure of death, their mentality will change. So I came up with such a way. After all, that place cannot be revealed, but the wilderness can still be visited. I have already contacted the nearby military department. After all, the deserted army has been short of people. We can go through the past and we can be regarded as helping them. Lu Jian smiled. Chu He was a little surprised when he learned the reason. He didn't think that Lu Jian actually organized the sophomore and above students to go to the wilderness for him. This made him a little moved. At this time, the food was brought to the table. Chu He and Lu Jian did not discuss this topic anymore. After the 2 of them finished their meal, Chu He and Lu Jian separated. Chu He returned to the villa to rest, ready to take a nap. Tongtian Tower, he doesn't plan to challenge for the time being. The magic card creature challenged by the Tongtian Tower has become 4 gold level magic card creatures. Relying on the strength of the 9 children and the ghost mother, it is difficult to continue to clear the level. And his current credits are temporarily enough. But I haven't thought of what kind of magic card to create, so I haven't exchanged it. When Chu He took a nap. Now in the school, many people know that a student conference will be held tomorrow, so that the sophomore and above students will go to the wilderness to experience things. Many students are very excited about this matter. In their view, the school takes the lead in organizing them to go to the wilderness for experience, there will be no danger, and they can also fight against the beasts. Regarding the wilderness experience, the students all thought it was a matter of the nature of an outing. Until the next morning, the school-wide student meeting was held. Lu Jian presided over this conference. He stood on a temporary podium set up in the playground, looked at the students, and said loudly, after the study by the Ministry of Education, all students above sophomore must go to the wilderness every semester to have an experience. The experience time is 7 days. If there are students who do not participate in the experience, then the school will repeat the students. 3 days later, the first wilderness experience will begin. After today's conference, the teachers of each class will issue an exemption consent form. This exemption consent form needs to be signed by the parents of all students, whether it is an electronic signature or a paper version. You can sign. If the parents do not sign, they will not be able to go to the wilderness to experience, and the school will repeat the grade. Freshmen, students do not make requirements. If you want to voluntarily participate in the experience, you can ask the teachers in their respective classes for a disclaimer consent form. Hearing Lu Jian's words, many people originally thought that this wilderness experience was just an outing for students, and they all noticed something was wrong. If this wilderness experience is just an outing in nature, how can the school ask their parents to sign the exemption consent form? And if you don't participate in the wilderness experience, you will be relegated. If you repeat a grade for 2 years, you will be expelled. After Lu Jian's speech, other school leaders also spoke in succession. As the principal, Xiao Chong did not come forward. He was very satisfied with Lu Jian's response this time. In his opinion, the students of the academy should really see the battlefield and experience the real battle. The magic card battle between students, no matter how fierce it is, there will be no danger. In his opinion, if a soldier from the deserted army fights with a student of the same strength from the higher magic card division academy, the former will definitely win. The former has experienced life and death, and has a deeper understanding and insights into magic card warfare, while the latter has never seen blood, even if the combat power is not weak, but the combat experience is too weak and will definitely not be an opponent. For this time Lu Jian asked the students to go to the wilderness to experience. He was extremely agreeable, and he let Lu Jian let it go and do it. If there are students who are not convinced, or if there are parents who think it is too dangerous for the university to let their children go to the wilderness, he will come forward. Either accept the arrangement of the university or withdraw from the school. After all, he is the principal, he has the final say. The student assembly on the playground lasted for 2 hours. When the student conference was over, many students were complaining. After all, they can see it too. This time it is dangerous to go to the wilderness to experience. It might even die. Otherwise, the university won't let their parents sign an exemption consent form. And if their parents disagree, they are repeating grades. Repetition twice is equivalent to being expelled. But it's useless for them to complain. After all, this is the school's regulations, drop out if you don't accept it. In the next 3 days, most of the students accepted the arrangement of the institution to persuade their parents to sign the exemption consent form. However, there is also a small group of students who are greedy for life and fear of death, and dare not go to the wilderness for experience, looking for the back door, hoping to escape this wilderness experience. But for these students looking for the back door, the Academic Affairs Department directly gave a warning. 3 days later, with the exception of some parents who did not sign the exemption consent form, and some students who were really afraid of going to the wilderness, more than 2,000 students in the school went to the wilderness guarded by the 26th Army under the arrangement of the school. As for the freshman students, only a few dozen went there voluntarily. Chu He is naturally among these more than 10 people. Tianwu Academy is more than 100 kilometers away from the wilderness guarded by the number 26 Army headquarters. Tianwu Academy found hundreds of buses, carrying the students and the leader teacher, and rushed towards the wilderness guarded by the number 26 Army headquarters. Chu He did not ride in the same car with the students, but in the same car with the teachers who led the team. Under the rumors that some students used to false the legend, Chu He has now become a villain with a very dark mind and even desire to commit murder. The students are now avoiding Chu He. But for other students' fear of themselves, Chu He didn't take it seriously. Chu He, you are amazing. You have entered the university for such a short time, so that other people can't avoid you. I still have a girlfriend, you are alone. Otherwise, I'll be your girlfriend. This way you won't be too lonely. Huo Saiyu sat beside Chu He and asked with a smile. Like Chu He, the other students were afraid of becoming Huo Saiyu's mice. Therefore Huo Saiyu was also sitting in this car. And she was sitting with Chu He Cheeky. Chu He heard Huo Saiyu's words. Chu He smiled lightly. I have no interest in being your little guinea pig. I didn't want you to be a guinea pig. I was serious. How about, consider me. I don't look bad. Huo Saiyu smiled lightly. I have a girlfriend, Chu He said helplessly. It doesn't matter, it's normal for a powerful man to have multiple women. Huo Saiyu said indifferently. When Chu He heard this, he smiled helplessly. This Huo Saiyu's brain circuit is really peculiar. Well, I'll talk to you about business. Go to the wilderness this time, let's go in pairs. After all, other students are afraid of the two of us, and no one wants to team up with us. How about going to the wilderness to test in pairs? Huo Saiyu asked. Chu He heard the words and nodded slightly. This is no problem. After experiencing the rescue of Luo Liang from the Devil's Cave, Chu He also knows that having a great teammate is a very important thing. Huo Saiyu's strength is not weak, and teaming with her is a good choice. Seeing Chu He agree, Huo Saiyu smiled and said no more. 2.5 hours later, hundreds of buses successively arrived at the number 26 Army headquarters. A total of 21 soldiers greeted everyone. The leader among the 21 people was actually Xiehan, an acquaintance of Chu He. Xiehan now changed into a military uniform with a chilling expression on his face. When the students got off the bus, Xiehan looked at the more than 2,000 students and shouted loudly, "You come to our military headquarters this time for training. Don't think of this experience as an outing. Since you are here, then you must obey the arrangement. Now start grouping. This experience is divided into 20 groups. 20 of them are all outstanding soldiers in our military department. During the training period, you must obey their arrangements throughout. If any of you want to practice alone, get out now." Hearing Xiehan's words, Chu He and Huo Saiyu walked out of the crowd. When Xiehan saw Chu He, his expression was also a little surprised. He also didn't expect to see Chu He here. However, he did not greet Chu He, but looked at the other students and said loudly, "Once you decide to practice with these 20 captains, you are not allowed to go out alone, you must obey the arrangement. If you enter the group, but anyone disobeys the command, then get out of here. So I'll ask again now. Who else wants to practice alone? Get out of the list." Several people came out of the student group one after another. "Next, start grouping, and those who want to practice alone come with me," Xiehan said loudly. After that, Chu He, Huo Saiyu and others who wanted to practice alone followed Xiehan and left. The military headquarters of the Famine Army has a very simple environment. The rooms are simple planks. Outside the residential area, a steel grate wall separates the wilderness from the residential area. Chu He and the others followed Xiehan to a board room. Xiehan took out a stack of documents and gave it to Chu He and others. If you want to practice alone, then your mission is to hunt down the wild beasts in the data. If you want to pass the training, you must kill at least 10 wild beasts on this document, and then cut off the designated part of the wild beast as proof that you have killed the target wild beast. If the experience fails, what will be the result? I will not say more, that is your school's business. Okay, you can move freely now, Xiehan said. The students who wanted to practice alone looked a little unsightly when they saw the information Xiehan gave them. Although the strength of the wild beasts on these materials is not very strong, the strongest ones are equivalent to the magic card creatures of the Silver 9 Stars, and they can handle it with their strength. But to kill these 10 different wild beasts within 7 days is not a small difficulty for them. When the others left, Chu He looked at Xiehan and smiled. "Brother Xie, I didn't expect to see you here. I didn't expect to see you here. With your ability, you are fully capable of entering a better school. I didn't expect you to choose Tianwu School." Xiehan laughed. "By the way, don't go too deep into the wilderness during this time. Recently, it happened to be the estrus season of the three-headed hounds. The three-headed hounds are silver-level wild beasts, and they are also gregarious wild beasts." "I understand." Chu He nodded slightly. "Okay, you go to work first, I still have something to do here, and I will have time to catch up later," Xiehan said. Chu He didn't bother Xiehan anymore and left the board room. "You know this squadron captain?" After Chu He left the prefab, Huo Saiyu, who was waiting for him, asked curiously. "No," Chu He nodded without explaining too much. "Come on, let's go to the wilderness." Chu He started. The wilderness guarded by the desert army is very different from the wilderness of the magic cave world. The wilderness guarded by the desert army is the wilderness in the true sense. Not to mention trees, not even weeds. A bare piece, nothing but stones. After Chu He and Huo Saiyu entered the wilderness, Huo Saiyu seemed a little excited. Chu He noticed Huo Saiyu's expression and guessed what the other party was thinking. The opponent's father was the deserted army, and he died in the battle with the deserted beast. Since then, Huo Saiyu has changed into a different person and began to study magic card fusion. Coming to the wilderness this time, Chuhi estimated that Huo Sayu wanted to release his inner anger by killing the beasts. He didn't say much. After all, these things were Huo Sayu's own business, and he didn't intend to mix them up. After leaving the Steel City wall for a certain distance, Chuhi took out the Shadow Horse Face magic card, realized it, let it blend into his own shadow, and prevented the sudden beast attack. Chuhi, can the magic card creature you just now blend into the shadow? This ability is too rare. Your magic card creatures are very strong. Huo Sayu exclaimed. Okay, but you don't realize your magic card creature. Don't you worry about being attacked by wild beasts suddenly? Chuhi asked. My magic card creature has always been by my side. Huo Sayu smiled. Huh, Chuhi heard this, with a curious look on his face. Huo Sayu snapped his fingers lightly. Around Huo Sayu's body, a whirlwind appeared. The wind whirlpool condenses to form a magic card creature whose body is a hurricane. Gold 3 stars, Elemental Mage type magic card Hurricane Messenger. This is also my only magic card. Huo Sayu smiled. Chuhi looked a little surprised when he saw this Hurricane Messenger. It was the first time he saw the magic card creature of the wind element system. Huo Sayu snapped his fingers again, and the body of the Hurricane Envoy dissipated in place. Chuhi, this time our wilderness experience depends on you. I'm just this magic card creature. If you encounter a large-scale wave of wild beasts, your magic card creature must be in front. Huo Sayu laughed. Huo Sayu just finished speaking. In front of them appeared a number of burly beasts with 4 arms and a single horn on their foreheads, which looked like apes. We are lucky. This weird unicorn is one of the target wild beasts we want to kill. Huo Sayu laughed. Good luck. You are looking over there. Chuhi said helplessly, pointing to the distance. Huo Sayu turned his head to look, and found that there were dozens of strange forces holding close by one horn in the distance. Although these unicorns of strange power are only silver-level desolate beasts, they are gregarious desolate beasts. But this neighborhood doesn't look like a place suitable for wild beasts to survive. How come there are so many weird unicorns? Chuhi asked with some doubts. They came just right. We can kill these weird power single-horned grips, cut off their single horns, and we can sell them to other people who have experienced alone. And besides us, other people who have experienced with the team may have tasks to complete. If they also need the unicorn of the weird unicorn to complete the task and sell it to them, we can make a fortune. Huo Sayu laughed. After she finished speaking, she snapped her fingers. The hurricane messenger appeared again. Kill them, Huo Sayu exclaimed. Upon receiving the order, the rotation of the hurricane messenger's body began to speed up. From around its body, a large number of wind blades flew out continuously, flying towards the unicorn with strange force that was close to them. The strength of these wind blades is very high, and the number is extremely large. The nearby strange force was squeezed by a single horn, and they were all divided by the wind knife and turned into pieces of minced meat. Chuhi glanced at Huo Sayu. Huo Sayu's face showed a slightly crazy expression of excitement, as if he was happy to split these strange forces into pieces. Huo Sayu walked toward the corpse of the strange force unicorn into pieces of meat, let the hurricane envoy release the wind blade, cut off all the unicorns on the heads of these strange force unicorns, and then put them into the magic card space. Seeing this scene, Chuhi suddenly felt that Huo Sayu's psychology might have a serious problem. Obviously, the excitement that her father was killed by the wild animal was not just to make her obsessed with creating magic cards. It also made her extremely hate the beast. Perhaps in her eyes, any wild beast is the murderer of her father, so the hurricane envoy will dismember these weird unicorns, so as to vent their anger and give herself a pleasure of revenge. After Huo Sayu put all the unicorns on the heads of the unicorns with strange forces into the magic card space, walked to her Chuhi, took out a unicorn, stuffed it into Chuhi's hand, and laughed, "Give you it. The relationship between the two of us is so good, we won't charge you any more." Chuhi looked at Huo Sayu and asked, "Are you okay?" "What can I do? I'm fine now." Unexpectedly, it feels so cool to kill the wild beast. Huo Sayu laughed. Watching Huo Sayu stride forward, Chuhi glanced at the single horn in his hand again. There is still blood on the unicorn. With a light sigh, Chuhi put the unicorn into the magic card space. Huo Saiyu's mental state is a bit wrong. If this continues, something may happen. Chu He secretly said in his heart. This time teaming up with Huo Saiyu to experience the wilderness, Chu He is looking for a reliable and powerful teammate. But Huo Saiyu's current mental state is very wrong. Chu He worried that Huo Saiyu's current state would cause big trouble. But now he can't think of how to solve it, so he can only take one step at a time. Chu He and Huo Saiyu walked side by side. Along the way, Huo Saiyu never let go of all the wild beasts he encountered, and let the hurricane envoys kill them. Moreover, the methods of killing were very bloody, all of which were to let the hurricane messenger use a wind knife to divide the desolate beast into corpses. And her expression has become more and more excited now. Chu He felt that she had fallen into a state of demon. If this continues, maybe Huo Saiyu's spirit will collapse. Wait a minute. Chu He stopped Huo Saiyu. Huo Saiyu looked at Chu He with a slightly crazy smile on his face, and asked, "Why stop? There are still many wild beasts waiting for us to kill." Chu He took a deep breath and said in a deep voice, "I can't continue anymore. There is a problem with your mental state, let's go back now. When your mental state is better, we will come to the wilderness again." Huo Saiyu laughed when he heard the words, "My spirit is normal, I have never felt better. Do you know that every time I kill a barren beast, I feel like I have done a good thing? I just killed hundreds of wild beasts, I just did hundreds of good things. Every time a desolate beast is killed, one less soldier from the desolate army will be killed. What I am doing now, shouldn't it be?" Hearing Huo Saiyu's words, Chu He said solemnly, "You are right, if you kill a desolate beast, you may indeed be killed by one less soldier from the desolate army. But your current state is very wrong, you are a little dazed. I've heard about you. Your father was a soldier in the deserted army, and died in the hands of the deserted beast. From then on, you have become obsessed with the fusion magic card. I originally thought that you merged the magic card because you lost your father and made you feel insecure, so I want to rely on the fusion magic card to create a stronger magic card to protect yourself. But now it seems that things are not like this. After you learned that your father had sacrificed, you started to study the fusion card, not to give yourself a sense of security, but to create a more powerful card to avenge your father. You are attacking these wild beasts now, and you are asking the hurricane messenger to divide them, and you have killed all the wild beasts as the murderer of your father. Hoth, Rain, you must stop your current behavior. If you continue in this state, your spirit may collapse. Do you think if your father was still alive, what would he think of your current state?" Chu He can only make things clear now. Huo Saiyu was obviously stunned now, and wanted to kill all the beasts and avenge her father. But how many wild beasts are? The area of the wilderness is not smaller than the area of the human city. Desolate beasts can still reproduce, and it is simply impossible to destroy the desolate beasts. Hearing Chu He's words, the smile on Huo Saiyu's face suddenly froze. She stood there blankly, without saying a word. Chu He's words made her a little broken. Without warning, Huo Saiyu suddenly slumped on the ground and started to cry. Upon seeing this, Chu He also sat cross-legged on the ground, looking at Huo Saiyu quietly. Huo Saiyu cried louder and louder. Especially what Chu He said at the end. If her father was still alive, what would happen to her now? This sentence completely broke her psychological defense and broke her defense. When she was a child, her mother died of illness. She grew up with her father. When she was a child, she was very timid, crying whenever she saw things. Although her father was harsh, he never beat her or scolded her. Whenever she cried, her father told her that crying can't solve any problems, and if you encounter difficulties, you should find a solution instead of crying. She also told her that crying is a sign of weakness and never cry in front of others. Under her father's education, she became more and more outstanding. No matter what difficulties she encountered, she never cried again. It is precisely because of her father's teaching that she was able to enter the Tianmu Academy at the age of 15. But she did not expect that when she was in her sophomore year, she received a call from a comrade in arms of her father, telling her father that he had died in the battle, and even the corpse capital was eaten by wild beasts. The news of the death of her father, whom she regarded as the patron saint, is undoubtedly a bolt from the blue for her. When she heard the news, she wanted to cry, but her father's teachings appeared in her mind. She pressed all the sadness in her heart and began to think of revenge for her father. The revenge method she thought of was very simple, and that was to kill all the wild beasts in the world. For this reason, she aspires to become stronger and begins to get in touch with the research of fusion magic, so that the students in the school can't avoid her. Until a few days ago, when the university held a student meeting to inform all sophomores and above that they would go through the wilderness experience, she became excited. Because she felt she could avenge her father. After waiting for several days, I finally came to the wilderness and saw the wild beast. Every time she kills a barren beast, she feels an inexplicable satisfaction, but it also burdens her with more things. And what she is carrying is hatred. By constantly killing the wild beasts, she felt that the hatred in her heart became stronger and stronger, making her want to kill more wild beasts, forming a vicious circle. If this continues, as Chu-hee said, her spirit will collapse and her heart will be crushed by hatred. Until just now, Chu-hee mentioned her father and broke her heart. The sadness hidden in her heart for more than a year broke out at this moment, that's why she cried loudly. Huo Sayu cried for a long time, half an hour. When she stopped crying, she saw Chu-hee sitting in front of her with a blush on her face. Is it better? Chu-hee asked with a smile. It's better, thank you. Huo Sayu wiped his eyes and said embarrassingly. She now feels very comfortable in her heart. After her father's death, her heart is very heavy. After crying just now and releasing all the grievances and sorrows in my heart, the state is naturally back. It is said that women are made of water. I didn't believe it before. Until I saw you crying for half an hour, I finally believed it. Chu-hee joked. Huo Sayu glared at Chu-hee dimly, and stood up from the ground. Chu-hee also got up from the ground, patted the dust on his body, and smiled. Let's go, let's continue hunting wild beasts now. Huo Sayu nodded and followed Chu-hee on. On the next journey, he ran into a wild beast. Huo Sayu asked the hurricane messenger to release a wind blade to kill the wild beast in seconds, which was no longer as bloody as before. Chu-hee saw Huo Sayu's state return to normal, and a smile appeared on his face. Huo Sayu now is the teammate he wants. Next, let me solve the desolate beast you encountered. Chu-hee smiled. No problem. Huo Sayu snapped his fingers, and the hurricane envoy turned into a whirlwind and dissipated. Chu summoned Mingyan Bullhead, Yin and Yang Judge, Evil Spirits Black and Impermanence, and Evil Spirits White Impermanence. The star ratings of Evil Black Impermanence and Evil Spirit White Impermanence are too low. It is necessary for them to kill wild beasts and raise their star. The Yin and Yang Judge is a tool man of Black and White Impermanence. Mingyan Niatu is guarding Chu-hee's side, together with the shadow horse face hidden in the shadow to guard Chu-hee's safety. Time passes, and night falls. Chu-hee and Huo Sayu are now more than 50 kilometers deep into the wilderness. From day to night, a large number of wild beasts died in the hands of Black and White Impermanence. The strength of the evil Black Impermanence increased to 5 silver stars, and the vision of the Evil Spirit White Impermanence increased to 4 silver stars. The strength of Black and White Impermanence has greatly increased, so that Chu-hee a little wants to continue to go deep into the wilderness and hunt the wild beasts. However, the wilderness under the dark night is very dangerous. If you continue to move forward, you are vulnerable to powerful wild beasts. Chu-hee discussed with Huo Sayu and decided to return to the camp of the deserted army first. After all, the wilderness experience lasts for a week, and this is only one day, and there are still 6 days, and there are opportunities to hunt down the wild beasts. And even if the wilderness experience is over, Chu-hee can choose to stay. After all, he is only going through the enrollment formalities now. Strictly speaking, he is at most a prospective freshman of Tianwu Academy. He doesn't need to go to class, he can move freely. And even if the school starts, Chu-hee can leave Tianwu Academy at any time. After all, the reason why he chose Tianwu Academy is that he values Tianwu Academy without compulsory classes, as long as he passes the assessment every semester. Chu-hee and Huo Sayu returned quickly towards the deserted army camp. Because the way they returned was the way they came, and there were no beasts along the way, and they were erected when they returned. When they were more than 10 kilometers away from the deserted army camp, Chu-hee and Huo Sayu met 3 other people who had experienced alone. However, the 3 of them looked a little embarrassed now, and were fleeing desperately. When the 3 of them saw Chu-hee and Huo Sayu, they immediately shouted, "Run away." Seeing the embarrassing appearance of the three of them, Chu-hee looked in the direction they had fled, and a large group of dark shadows chased on the ground. With the help of light, when Chu-hee saw the appearance of the group of black shadows, he said in a deep voice, "It's a silver-level barren beast steelback ant. These guys are really unlucky. Steel-backed ants are the size of adult wolfhounds, and their backs are extremely hard. Although a single steel-backed ant is very weak, it is equivalent to a silver 1-star magic card creature, and it is still very weak. But in the wilderness, steelback ants do not appear individually. Once you encounter steelback ants, the number is at least 4 digits. The number of steelback ants chasing these 3 students now exceeds 2,000. I'm coming, are you? Huo Sayu asked with a smile. I'm coming, Chu-hee said flatly, although the number of steelback ants chasing these 3 people is as high as 2,000. But in Chu-hee's view, these steelback ants are not a threat. Killing these steel-backed ants, the strength of black and white impermanence can be improved again. Do it, Chu-hee gave an order. The yin and yang judgment integrates the possession of the 3 souls into the body of evil black impermanence. The evil black impermanence took the sickle and rushed towards the steelback ant colony. The evil spirit by Wuchang waved the spirit calling banners, summoning a large number of evil spirits, and cooperated with the evil and black impermanence to attack. Evil sickle. After the evil black impermanence approached the steelback ant colony, he directly swung the lock knife. The black sword flew out. Compared with the time when the silver 1-star, the black sword energy released by the evil black impermanence now cast is twice as wide. And the power is more powerful. This black sword gas directly hacked more than 10 steelback ants to death. The evil spirits surrounding the body of the evil black impermanence, under the control of the evil spirit white impermanence, rushed towards the steelback ant. These evil spirits got into the body of the steelback ant. But for a while, the steelback ant that was drilled by the evil spirit quickly turned into an empty shell, and the soul died. The evil black impermanence continued to wield the mirror knife, releasing black sword energy. He stood there now, like a big mountain, blocking the tide of steel-backed ants, unable to move forward. But there are too many steel-back ants. The evil and impermanence only stopped for a moment, and the steel-back ant tide quickly approached him. The evil and the black impermanence directly activated the desire to kill, and the attack and damage immunity were increased by 20%. He carried the mirror knife and rushed into the tide of steel-back ants. With his defense, it is very difficult for these steel-backed ants to hurt him. After all, he now has the dual fetters of black and white impermanence and the yin and yang judge. In addition, the 3 soul possessions blessed by the judge of yin and yang. It is not an exaggeration to say that the current defensive power of the evil black impermanence has reached the peak of the silver rank. These steel-backed ants, who are only silver 1-star magic card creatures, are not likely to hurt him at all. And there are evil spirits released by evil spirits in vain. These evil spirits are also constantly killing the steel-backed ants around the evil black impermanence, so that the evil black impermanence will not be besieged. 2 to 2,000, there is no pressure at all. The 3 students who were running for their lives stopped when they saw this scene. The expressions of the 3 of them were a little surprised. I'm dreaming, right? How could Chu-hee's magic card creature be so strong? 2 magic card creatures actually blocked this terrifying tide of steelback ants. One of the students, who was slightly shorter, did not dare to talk. He even wondered if he was dreaming, and patted his face fiercely. When he felt the pain on his face, he confirmed that this was reality. The magic card of the ghost system, is there such a powerful one? In my memory, the magic cards of the ghost system have all kinds of inexplicable weaknesses. But Chu-hee's magic card creature has no weaknesses. Yes, Chu-hee's magic card creature is too strong. When he was in the university a few days ago, he defeated Dugang's 5-star golden 6-armed demon with the 1-star gold 9-child ghost mother. The 6-armed demon even defeated the giant bear boxer of senior Li Feng, but lost to the 9 sons of the ghost mother. Although the second form of Chu-hee's 9 sons and ghost mothers is terrifying, there is no doubt that his magic card creatures are too strong. If only I had a magic card creature like Chu-hee too. Are you crazy? Didn't you hear what other people said? Shang is born from the heart, the appearance of the magic card is related to the heart of the magic card master, and your heart also wants to become as dark as Chu-hee. Fart, if Chu-hee's heart is really dark, will he save us? With his strength, he can retreat calmly. There is no need to deal with these steelback ants and save us. If it weren't for Chu-hee, we would probably be dead now. Moreover, last time, Chu-hee clearly defeated Dugang and defended the dignity of our Tianwu Academy. In the end, Chu-hee became a person with a dark heart and a psychological problem through the word of mouth. Anyway, I think the magic card of the ghost system created by Chu-hee is okay, but those who say that Chu-hee has a problem in his heart are really problematic. The shorter student heard the other two students arguing and said bitterly, "Don't fight." I guess Chu-hee never cared about our opinion of him. And I think Chu-hee has no plan to save us at all. He fights against steelback ants, just to upgrade his magic card creature to kill steelback ants. He obviously has 9 children and ghost mothers, but he didn't realize it. Instead, he uses these 2 magic card creatures that we have never seen before. Obviously, let these 2 magic card creatures kill steelback ants to upgrade. From beginning to end, Chu-hee didn't put us in his eyes. Hearing what he said, the 2 students who were arguing stopped. They looked at the evil and impermanents who were caught in the tide of steelback ants, and the evil spirits who were supporting the evil spirits in the distance, Bai Wuchang, and their moods were a little complicated. As the shorter student said, Chu-hee clearly has a stronger 9-child ghost mother, but he did not realize it. For what? And I think the last time Chu-hee dealt with Dugang, maybe it wasn't for the academic institution, but to test the strength of his magic card 9 sons and ghost mother. As a result, because we saw the second form of Jojigimu, we thought he was a person with a dark heart. Perhaps in Chu-hee's eyes, we are not even a fart. The shorter student continued. The 3 of them stopped talking, quietly watching the battle between the black and white impermanents and the steelback ant tide. The evil and the black impermanents are now like the god of war, unparalleled in the steelback ant tide. When the sickle is cut down, steelback ants must be killed. The evil spirit on the side, Bai Wuchang, also used the ghost hair skill. Her hair lengthened, strangling steelback ants continuously. As the steelback ants were continuously killed by the evil spirits Bai Wuchang. The evil spirit Bai Wuchang also broke through to 5 silver stars. After her strength increased, her combat effectiveness became stronger. Killing steelback ants has also become easier. There are more than 2,000 steelback ants, which seem to be many. But as the black and white impermanents continued to kill, the number dropped sharply and became less and less. It took 2 hours. The 2 of them, black and white impermanents, killed all steelback ants. After the battle, the strength of the black and white impermanents increased again, reaching 6 silver stars. After the battle, the black and white impermanents returned to Chu-hee, and Chu-hee and Huo Sayu continued to return to the deserted army camp. See it, I said Chu-hee never put us in his eyes. It's just that we take ourselves too seriously. The shorter student saw Chu-hee and Huo Sayu leave, and said with a wry smile. After returning to the deserted army camp, Chu-hee saw many students sitting on the ground in embarrassment. Chu-hee saw them and shook his head slightly. These guys are the flowers in the greenhouse, Huo Sayu said. The people from the second team gather. A loud shout rang out. Chu-hee saw a man in military uniform walking quickly from a distance. Hearing what he said, some students who had been sitting on the ground immediately got up and ran to the other side. Tonight, our second team will be in charge of the night watch. Everyone come with me, the man in uniform shouted loudly. Hearing what he said, the students in his team all looked bitter. Captain, we have been fighting the wild beasts for a day in the wilderness, and we have to watch the night tonight. Our bodies simply can't bear it. Hearing this, the captain of the second team showed anger on his face. Your body can't bear it, is that an excuse? What if you don't keep watch, and there are wild beasts attacking in the middle of the night? The wild beasts are most active at night. If the wild beasts attack and destroy our camp, everyone will die. Do you think that when the wild beast kills you, it will care about your physical condition? The captain of the second team scolded loudly. After being reprimanded, the student who spoke had an embarrassed look on his face, bowed his head, and dared not speak any more. Follow me, the second team captain shouted. The students of the second team only followed the captain honestly. These guys are really pitiful. Still vigil. Huo Saiyu chuckled lightly. Okay, we don't have to worry about their business. Let's go eat first. Chu He said lightly. After Chu He and Huo Saiyu arrived at the cafeteria, they ate a little and went back to their rooms to rest. Silent all night. The next morning, Chu He and Huo Saiyu went to the wilderness to hunt wild beasts. At night, the two returned. 3 days in a row. There are countless wild beasts who died in Chu He's hands. Chu He has now raised the strength of Niu Tao Ma Mian, Black and White Impermanence and Ghost King Yasha to silver 9 stars, except for Yin Yang Judge and 9 Suns Ghost Mother. The speed of this improvement is not unpleasant. Of course, this is also related to Huo Saiyu's failure to take action when encountering the wild beast. All the wild beasts are solved by Chu He, and his waste card creatures can improve such fast Qian Zhao's speed. As for the Yin and Yang Judge, the strength has also been upgraded to 5 stars of silver. Chu He is a little in love with the wilderness now. There are many wild beasts in the wilderness, even if it is the area that you walked through yesterday. If you go to that area today, there are still many wild beasts. A cave, a wilderness. Killing the alien magic card master in the magic cave can quickly increase his magic card master level. Killing wild beasts in the wilderness can quickly increase the level of magica creatures. In Chu He's eyes, places that others can't avoid are good places. Day 4, night. Chu He and Huo Saiyu returned from the wilderness, and after dinner, they went back to their rooms to rest. In the early hours of the morning, Chu He was woken up by the screeching alarm. After Chu He came out of the room, he saw chaos in the camp. Chu He saw some students sneak out of the crowd and fled towards a remote place in the camp, apparently trying to avoid the battle. Chu He shook his head, ignoring these people, and walked to the great steel wall. Far in the wilderness, the Kuroshio is approaching Fen. This is the wild beast tide. Chu He said with a gloomy expression when he saw the Kuroshio approaching in the distance. The wild beast tide is the most terrifying existence in the wilderness. The wild beast tide is formed by the gathering of tens of thousands of wild beasts, and the wild beast tide is led by a powerful wild beast. Every time the wild beast tide appeared, it was a big trouble for the army. Attention all teams, prepare for the attack of the wild beast tide. Xie Han stood on the steel great wall and shouted loudly. Soldiers of the famine suppression army have embodied the magic card creatures one after another. As for the students of Tianwu Academy, they now appear to be very frightened. Don't be stupid, materialize your magic card creatures, and prepare to fight. Xie Han looked at the students of Tianwu Academy and roared with a cold face. The students of Tianwu Academy, when have they ever seen such a terrifying scene? Tens of thousands of wild beasts attacked, and just looking at them made their legs go weak. Xie Han shouted loudly, making them recover from their fear, and one after another, they embodied their magic card creatures. Looking at the approaching wild beast tide, Xie Han's face also became a little dignified. A medium-sized wild beast tide, if this fights, I am afraid there will be heavy casualties. Xie Han secretly said in his heart. Captain Lin, these students can't be of much help. They are all scared to death now, it is better to let them retreat directly, otherwise it will be troublesome to help. Xie Han looked at a middle-aged man standing beside him and asked in a deep voice. This middle-aged man is called Lin Junwang, and his position is the commander-in-chief, as well as the head of the 26th Military Headquarters. At the same time, he is also a strong person, the title of the Forest King. His 5 magic cards are all forest magic card creatures. Among them, the strongest magic card creature is the Green Dragon of Platinum 7 stars. When Lin Junwang heard Xie Han's words, he said indifferently, no, they are also fighting forces, and they can help us share a little pressure. And Xiao Chong, the principal of Tianwu Academy, greeted me and wanted them to experience the battle of life and death. This time is just an opportunity. Xie Sei heard the words and said no more. As the tide of wild beasts got closer, Lin Junwang shouted loudly, everyone listen to my orders and get ready for battle. Prepare for the attack of the wild beast tide. But just after Lin Junwang's words were finished, the students of Tianwu Academy, because they couldn't bear the fear brought by the wild beast tide, turned the magic card creatures that had just materialized into magic cards, turned around and escaped from the steel great wall. When a student escaped, Other students saw this and immediately put away the magic card creatures and ran away. On the Great Wall of Steel, it suddenly became a mess. Seeing this scene, Lin Junwang shouted with a gloomy face, "Don't run away, join forces, these wild beasts are not our opponents." But these students didn't listen to Lin Junwang's words. Instead, more and more students ran away. All the students who stay to fight, those who run away, are expelled from school. A teacher from Tianwu Academy shouted loudly. But that didn't work either. The deterrent force brought by the wild beast tide is too great. These students don't care about it now, they just want to escape. A bunch of trash. Is this the student of your Tianwu Academy? Now that 870 heads are locked up and fleeing, don't you know that it will affect morale? A squadron leader, looking at the teacher of Tianwu Academy, shouted loudly. The teacher led by Tianwu Academy is also very helpless now. But they have no choice. Now the students are scattered in a hurry, and they have no way to stop it. There were more than 2,000 students, and in just a few minutes, there were only less than 100 students left. Lin Junwang sighed, "It seems that I overestimated these students." Xie sighed, "This time it's up to you, I'll kill that platinum level wild beast first." Lin Junwang said to Xie Han. Xie Han nodded and took over the command from Lin Junwang. The wild beast tide is getting closer. The leading platinum level wild beast is a wild beast with a height of over 80 meters, like a black goat. There are a lot of eyes on this black goat wild beast. Platinum level, a 100-eyed demon sheep. Among the wild beasts in the platinum level, this 100-eyed demon sheep is also an extremely powerful existence. Lin Junwang immediately ordered the green dragon to attack the 100-eyed demon sheep. With the green dragon and the 100-eyed demon sheep, the battle broke out. The battle between the desert army and the wild beast tide broke out. Following Xie Han's order, the suppressing wilderness army ordered the magic card creatures to rush towards the tide of wild beasts. Chu He materialized Niu Tao Ma Mian, Yaksha Rakshasa and 9 sons and ghost mothers. The 9 sons and the ghost mother made the 9 sons and ghosts rush towards the wild beast tide. Mingyan Niatu and Ghost King Yasha also rushed towards the tide of wild beasts. The shadow horse face hides in the body of Mingyan Niatu and assassinates the wild beast. The blood demon Rakshasa separated from the clone, and the clone followed the army of magica creatures and rushed towards the wild beast tide. Niu Tao Ma Mian and Yaksha Rakshasa are now silver 9 stars. Although there is no yin and yang judge to increase their combat power, but with their own fetter skills, their combat power is also very sturdy. Mingyan Niatu faced the gold-level wild beast and resisted the opponent's attack head-on, without any damage. And the Ghost King Yaksha can easily kill a gold-level wild beast. The shadow arrows shot by the shadow horse can pierce through the body of a gold-level wild beast. The blood demon Rakshasa and the clone attack together, and can easily kill the gold-level wild beast. As for the mother of 9 sons and ghosts, the 9 sons and ghosts of her envoy joined forces to attack, and they were able to quickly kill gold-level wild beasts. However, the number of wild beasts is too many, which is several times the magic card creatures of the squatting army and the teachers and students of Tianwu Academy. Under the head-on conflict, the magic card creatures are somewhat invincible. And the green dragon of Lin Junwang's imperial envoy was unable to kill the 100-eyed demon sheep quickly. The ability of this 100-eyed demon sheep is very strange. The eyes on its body can shoot black light. These black lights have strong penetration. The magic card creature hit by the black light will be directly penetrated and die on the spot. Moreover, the green dragon is a magician magic card creature, and its body is inherently fragile. Once it is hit by the black light released from the eyes of the 100-eyed magic sheep, it will definitely be more fierce. In order to avoid the black light, the green dragon was a little embarrassed. Although the green dragon's attack is not weak, it can still breathe dragon's breath. But the dragon's breath will be offset by the black light emitted from the eyes of the 100-eyed demon sheep. As for Lin Junwang's other 4 waste card creatures, they did not choose to besiege the 100-eyed demon sheep, but were dealing with other wild beasts. If there is no platinum-level magic card creature to resist the wild beast, the attack of the wild beast tide is simply difficult to resist. But over time, the waste card creatures were also killed one after another. Although the soldiers of the suppression army have spare magic cards, but the strength of the backup magic card is naturally not comparable to their main battle magic card. The situation of the battle has become unfavorable for the squatting army. But this battle must be resisted. If it can't stand it, once the camp of the suppression army is breached, when the wild beasts invade the nearby cities, it will be really troublesome. Everyone uses the magic card creatures to cooperate with me to help Captain Lin. Xie Han roared loudly. Don't help me, the 100-eyed demon sheep's attack is too strong, and the magic card creatures below the platinum level can't withstand the attack. Kill the other wild beasts first, I will find a way to solve the 100-eyed demon sheep. Lin Junwang shouted loudly. Xie Han heard the words, only to turn the target and attack other powerful gold-level wild beasts. If this continues, I'm afraid the famine suppression army will be defeated. I have to use my whole cards. Chu He secretly said in his heart. All, enable restricted skills. Chu He shouted loudly. After Niu Tao Ma Mian, Black and White Impermanence, and Yasha Rakshasa raised silver to 9 stars, their restrictions all changed. It is not only when you are fatally injured that you can activate the limiting skills. It can now be activated automatically. Get Chu He's order. A violent flame erupted from the body of Ming Yan Niu's head, and his body rapidly enlarged and turned into a huge flame bull. Shadow Horse's body is surrounded by shadows. After a while, Shadow Horse Face's body completely turned into a shadow and entered a shadow form. The Shadow Horse Face in the shadow form is immune to 80% of physical damage. And in this form, every arrow shot by Shadow Horse's face has a fierce heart effect. Ghost King Yasha, violent yin aura surged from his body, surrounding his body. When the yin qi dissipated, the Ghost King Yasha turned into a terrifying evil spirit with blue-faced fangs, a height of 8 feet, and a red skin. He held a trident in his right hand, and when he waved it, the wind blew. After the Blood Demon Rakshasa unlocked the restricted skills, he entered the Blood Demon form. The Blood Demon form of the Blood Demon Raksha just added a pair of huge blood wings. But her speed is much faster, and she can also manipulate blood to form a blood knife attack. The golden beasts, in front of her, are like boots, easily killed by her. And Jojigimu, after the death of the Jugi slave, she also entered the form of evil, becoming the look that made Tianwu Academy students fearful. In terms of combat effectiveness, naturally the 9 sons and ghost mothers in the form of evil are the strongest. The 9 sons and ghost mothers are now in the form of evil, with extremely fast speed and extremely strong attacks. In front of her, the wild beasts were easily killed. Even a barren beast whose strength is comparable to the golden 7-star and 8-star magic card creatures can hardly resist her attack in front of her. After all, under the bondage skill of child and mother ghosts and gods after the death of the slave of the 9 ghosts, her attack power increased by 100%. Her combat effectiveness is extremely terrifying. But even Chu He's 5 magic card creatures have turned on restricted skills and entered the strongest state. But in the face of the tide of wild beasts, it can't resist it at all. After all, he has 5 magic cards and magic cards creatures. And there are too many wild beasts. The wild beasts approach the Great Wall of Steel. Attention everyone, be sure to kill all the wild beasts that enter the camp. Absolutely not allow the wild beasts to break through the camp. Lin Junwang shouted loudly. The soldiers of the desert army recalled their magic card creatures and hunted down the desert beasts that entered the camp. But there are too many wild beasts. They can't kill them at all. And many wild beasts attacked the students of Tianwu Academy hiding in the camp. When these students saw the wild beasts, they realized the magic card creatures to fight in horror. But when they saw their magic card creatures easily killed by the wild beasts, they felt a deep fear. The breath of death haunts them. Many people were frightened and collapsed to the ground. Some people even begged the wild beast for mercy. But in the eyes of the wild beasts, humans are their enemies. How could Tianwu students beg for mercy? How could it be useful? Many students were killed by wild beasts. Suddenly, wailing and screams continued. Chu He, I can't hold it anymore, the camp of the deserted army is about to be broken. Huo Saiyu looked at Chu He with an anxious expression. Chu He heard the words, glanced at the students in the camp who were chased by wild beasts, and said in a deep voice, I'll save people. After Chu He finished speaking, he rushed to the camp with 5 magic card creatures to kill the wild beasts that entered the camp. Help, who can save me? I don't want to die. After a student's magic card creature was killed by the desolate beast, he was now unarmed, watching the desolate beast approaching him, his expression wailing in fear. But now everyone is in danger. Who can get out and help him? Just when he thought he would die here today, a black shadow appeared in front of him out of thin air. When he saw this dark figure, his face showed surprise. Even if this black shadow looks terrifying. But for him, this dark shadow is his savior at this time. This black shadow is the nine-child ghost mother who has entered the form of evil. Jojigimu killed the wild beasts close to the student, and then went to kill other wild beasts. I'm alive. A look of surprise appeared on his face. He looked at the Jujigimu who was going to kill the other wild beasts, with a complicated look on his face. He was afraid of Chuhi before. It is believed that Chuhi created the nine-child ghost mother, because Chuhi has a psychological problem. But now after being rescued by the Jojigimu, he realized that the appearance of the magic card was not a problem at all. Strength is the key. His magic card creature, in front of the desolate beast killed by the 9 sons of the ghost mother, was as fragile as porcelain and was killed one after another. But Jojigimu easily killed the wild beasts that killed all his magic card creatures. There is only one thought in his mind, and that is to create a more powerful magic card creature. Even if this magic card creature has a terrifying image, it is enough as long as it is strong. Only powerful magic card creatures can protect themselves. Not only him, but the students who were rescued by Chuhi's 5 magic card creatures all had the same thought in their hearts. In the face of wild beasts, the most terrifying thing is that there is no resistance. The appearance of the magic card creature is not terrible, it is not important at all. The most important thing is the strength of the magic card creature. There are people with magic cards, fight with me. Chu saw that many students in he obviously still had magic cards, but they ran away blindly. If they choose to shoot, the situation will be much better. But facing Chu-hee's words, no students responded. Chu-hee cursed. For the timidity of these students, he was really helpless. These students obviously still have combat power, but they dare not fight against the wild beasts. It wasn't until the wild beasts attacked them that they embodied the magic card creatures. But even if the magic card creatures were realized, they just covered themselves to escape, and had no idea of fighting the wild beasts at all. If this continues, the camp will be breached sooner or later. Once the camp is breached, it will be really bad. Chu-hee secretly said in his heart. Although these things, he doesn't need to worry about them. But when the wild beast breaks through the camp, when the wild beast rushes into the city, it will definitely kill a lot of people. First save the students and cover their retreat. Lin Junwang also retreated back, shouting loudly. Yes, save us first and let us get out of here. A student shouted immediately. Hearing what the students of Tianmu Academy said, Xie Han's eyes showed disgust. But protecting civilians is the duty of their deserted army. Lin Junwang has also spoken, he can only bring people to support. The people in the second and third teams follow me to kill the beasts that rushed into the camp. A small team of people are responsible for rescuing the students of Tianmu Academy. Xie Han shouted loudly. Upon receiving the order, dozens of soldiers rushed to Xie Han's side with the magic card creature. Xie Hanyu used his magic card creatures and other soldiers' magic card creatures to hunt down the beasts that entered the camp. There were a lot of wild beasts entering the camp, and they were too scattered. Even Xie Han and their magic card creatures can easily kill wild beasts. But there are too few people, the camp is too big, the wild beasts are too scattered, and the students of Tianmu Academy are now scurrying like headless flies, making their rescue operations extremely difficult. Chu-hee, come and help me. Chu-hee heard Huo Saiyu's delicate voice. Turning his head, Chu-hee saw Huo Saiyu's hurricane messenger, besieged by 3 golden beasts, and fell into a disadvantage. Huo Saiyu has only one magic card creature like the hurricane messenger. Once the hurricane messenger dies, then Huo Saiyu's situation is dangerous. Chu-hee immediately ordered the 9 sons and ghost mothers to come and support. The body of Jojigimu turned into yin-chi and dissipated in place. Then, beside the 3 barren beasts that besieged the hurricane messenger, the yin-chi condensed, and the 9 sons of the ghost mother reappeared. This is one of the abilities of the 9-child ghost mother who has entered the form of evil, yin-chi transmission. It can make the 9 sons and ghost mothers instantaneously move within an arbitrary range of 500 meters. Although during the transmission of yin qi, the body will transform into a process of yin qi dissipating and recondensing yin qi, but the total time is less than a second. The skill of Jojigimu is almost a teleport. These 3 golden level wild beasts were easily killed in front of the 9-child ghost mother who had entered the form of evil. The 2 hands of Jojigimu easily pierced their heads. Thanks. Huo Saiyu breathed a sigh of relief, looked at Chuhi and said, "Be careful, it really can't, you retreat with other students first." Chuhi said loudly. "No, I will never withdraw," Huo Saiyu shouted loudly. After Chuhi heard this, he didn't say more. Although he had previously let Huo Saiyu release the pressure in her heart, untie her heart knot, and let her face the matter of her father's death. But her hatred of the wild beasts has not diminished. Letting her escape now may make her feel ashamed of her father. After all, her father died in the battle with the wild beast. Chuhi no longer cares about Huo Saiyu, and continues to kill the wild beasts in the camp. But the defense line of the Great Wall of Steel fell. The soldiers of the deserted army all retreated to the camp. Now the camp is not fortified, and more wild beasts have crossed the Great Wall of Steel and rushed into the camp. There are too many wild beasts, and the number of magic card creatures is decreasing. The situation is getting worse and worse. And the most important thing is that Lin Junwang's green dragon has not yet killed the most powerful 100-eyed demon sheep in the desolate beast tide. On the contrary, many magic card creatures died under the indiscriminate attack of the 100 Eyes demon sheep. Students from Tianwu Academy, as well as those with magic cards, are all manifested and cooperate with the deserted army. A teacher from Tianwu Academy shouted loudly. But now the scene is too chaotic, and his voice is quickly drowned in the sound of fighting, crying for help and crying. If this continues, the camp will be breached sooner or later. It is necessary to gather those students who still have magic cards. Chuhi secretly said in his heart. Chuhi asked Ghost King Yasha and Shadow Mamian to come back to protect him. The 9 sons of the Ghost Mother, the Blood Demon Ruksha, and the Dark Flame Bullhead, continued to kill the wild beasts. Chuhi ran to a girl from Tianwu Academy. The opponent has been on the run, without fighting at all. Chuhi is sure that the opponent still has a magic card. Chuhi now wants to gather the students with magic cards to form a new force. Only in this way can it be possible to reverse the situation. Realize all your magic card creatures, and fight with me. Chuhi looked at each other and said in a deep voice. Hearing Chuhi's words, the girl showed a look of fear on her face and said, "I'm afraid." "Since you are afraid, don't you fight? Are you here waiting for others to save you? Wouldn't you save yourself? Take a good look at yourself. The situation is very unfavorable for us now. Once the soldiers of the deserted army are killed in battle, then you will also die. Do you want to be the food in the mouth of the giant worm beast? Melt." Chuhi didn't get angry when he heard the other party's answer. Obviously he has the ability to fight, but he can only hide and shiver, waiting for others to rescue her. If it is not the current situation and the opponent's strength is needed, Chuhi will definitely not care about the opponent. Hearing Chuhi's words, the girl's expression became more and more frightened. She looked at Chuhi with pleading eyes, and her voice trembled, "Then save me and leave. I want to go home." After he said so, the opponent still didn't dare to fight. Forget it, he doesn't care about the other party. He has nothing to do with the life or death of the other party. And the other party was really going to die, so I asked for it. The wild beasts were all close in front of them, and they didn't dare to fight. This kind of person is really a waste. If the students who came to the number 26 Army headquarters this time were not students from Tianwu Academy, but from the Military Theology Academy or the Resolute Academy, I am afraid that these wild beasts would not be enough to kill. The same as a student of the Advanced Magic Card Master Academy, the gap is too big. Just courage is incomparable. Chuhi, don't leave. Chuhi, please save me from here. The girl pleaded loudly when she saw Chuhi leave. Chuhi ignored it at all. Chuhi ran to the other boy. This boy is slightly taller than Chuhi, and he is very strong. But when the tide of wild beasts came to attack, he was one of the first to escape. He is now hiding by the trash can outside a board house, squatting, holding his head in his hands, and trembling all over his body. Chuhi walked to the opponent, pull the opponent up, and hit the opponent with a big mouth. Concrete your magic card creature and fight with me. Chu-hee grabbed the opponent's collar and shouted. It is not suitable for girls to do it, but Chu-hee has no scruples about doing it for boys. Chu-hee slapped the opponent directly. Did you hear me? Chu-hee yelled again when he saw the other person's expression a little dazed. The boy regained his senses abruptly and looked at Chu-hee with a look of fear. Summon your magic card creature and come with me. Chu-hee loosened his opponent's collar and said in a deep voice. Upon hearing Chu-hee's words, the student tremblingly took out 5 discarded cards and realized the magic card creatures. The 5 magic card creatures are all silver level, and although their strength is not strong, they can be regarded as a battle force. Follow me, Chu-hee said, looking at the other side. The boy immediately followed behind Chu-hee with 5 magic card creatures. Next, Chu-hee found a few hidden students and asked them to summon magic card creatures to follow him. In a short while, more than 10 people gathered around Chu-hee. The number of magic card creatures has reached more than 70. Although the magic card biological strength of these students did not exceed the gold level. But more than 70 silver level magic card creatures are definitely not weak. Chu-hee took them and started hunting the wild beasts in the camp, while continuing to gather students with magic cards. After 10 minutes, the team of students gathered by Chu-hee has grown again. There are more than 30 students. The number of magic card creatures exceeded 130. 130 magic card creatures, although compared with the number of wild beasts, there is a huge gap. But in front of 130 magic card creatures, even the golden 9-star wild beast is no match. Everyone, come here and join Chu-hee. Classmates, and magic card creatures, all gathered here. The students gathered by Chu-hee began to call out other students spontaneously. Now they also have confidence. Because Chu-hee led the team. Under the leadership of Chu-hee's magic card creatures, the gold-level magic card creatures were easily killed, allowing them to see the hope of defeating the wild beasts. And fighting with Chu-hee made their blood boil. After all, they had never fought against wild beasts before. And now, fighting under the leadership of Chu-hee, discovering that the wild beast is nothing more than that. The wild beasts that chased them and fled in embarrassment just now were killed one after another. Let them feel the thrill of revenge. Because of this, they now admire Chu-hee more and more. Students spontaneously summon other students. More and more students with magic cards gathered around Chu-hee. Some students who died in battle with the waste card creatures also gathered around Chu-hee. After all, it is safest to follow Chu-hee now. Nice job. Xie-han showed joy on his face when he saw that Chu-hee had gathered a large number of students and led the students to use the magic card creatures to kill the wild beasts that entered the camp. Who is this kid? He's really outstanding. Under this kind of situation, I actually thought of gathering students who still have combat power to form combat power. This ability to adapt and control the situation is commendable. Tianwu Academy has such students, it's really good luck. Lin Junwang looked at Chu-hee and thought to himself. Let's follow Chu-hee to fight together. And the classmates of the magic card, all of them will materialize the magic card creature and follow Chu-hee. This is our chance to defeat the wild beasts. The teacher of Tianwu Academy shouted loudly when he saw that Chu-hee had gathered a lot of students. Now his words are heard. After all, everyone wants to live. It's safer to follow Chu-hee now, and they won't be stupid enough to hide anymore. Including the girl who said she was afraid of fighting wild beasts and was reprimanded by Chu-hee, she also embodied magic card creatures, followed Chu-hee's side, and ordered magic card creatures to fight. The situation started to get better. The students who scattered and hid gathered around Chu-hee one after another. The wild beasts had no targets to kill, only attacking Chu-hee and them. But in the face of Chu-hee and their magic card creatures, the strength of the wild beasts is simply invincible. Especially the shadow arrows shot from the shadow horse face hidden in Chu-hee's shadow, it is simply to shoot anyone to death. Even if there is a wild beast that can survive the arrow shot from the shadow of the horse face, it will be swarmed by other students' magic card creatures and killed. Point 0. But just when the dawn of victory is in sight, an accident happened. A gold rank beast suddenly broke through to the platinum rank at this moment. The desolate beast has no star rating, only rank. This desolate beast that broke through to the platinum rank was a black gold giant sickle mantis. The size of this black gold giant sickle mantis is very large. After it broke through to the platinum level, its size increased to 10 meters. The whole body of black and gold, like a golden house, exudes luster. Two huge sickles that are comparable to the length of the body are like a deadly weapon. This black gold giant sickle mantis flew into the air, and then swooped towards Chuhi and them. Seeing this black gold giant sickle praying mantis flying, many students panicked. After all, the opponent is a platinum level beast. They worry that their magic card creature is not an opponent. Don't panic, Chuhi shouted loudly. Hearing Chuhi's words, the panicked crowd calmed down. For them, Chuhi is now the backbone. As long as the backbone is still there, it will be fine. Chuhi looked at the black golden giant sickle mantis swooping towards them. The opponent is a platinum level, and his strongest magic card creature is the 9-child ghost mother, but it is only 1 gold star. Even if the strength of this black gold giant sickle mantis is equivalent to platinum 1 star, the star difference is still a big rank. What's more, the current combat power of this black gold giant mirror mantis is definitely stronger than platinum 1 star, equivalent to platinum 2 star, and even platinum 3 star magic card biological strength. If you really want to fight, even if they can kill the opponent, they will have a lot of losses. After thinking about it again and again, Chuhi asked Mingyan Niatu to come and support. At the same time, Chuhi turned the 9 sons of the ghost mother into a magic card, took out the yin-yang judge magic card, and realized it. Chuhi asked the judge of yin and yang to bless the possession of the 3 souls to Mingyan Niatu. Obtained the blessing of the 3 soul possession skills. Coupled with the dual bond blessing of the bullhead horse face and the yin and yang judge, and also entered the bull demon form, and also fought against the beast for so long, the passiveness has also been improved. The current combat power of the Mingyan bullhead has reached its peak. Kill it, Chuhi gave an order. Mingyan Niatu roared and opened the Mingyan arena, trapping the black gold giant soul mantis in it. The black gold giant mirror mantis felt the intensity of the dark flames around the Mingyan arena, and directly turned the target and flew towards the head of the dark flames. The huge sharp sickle slashed towards Mingyan Niu's head. Mingyan Niu Tao also used his horns to slam into the opponent. The sickle slashed on Mingyan Niu's head. The horns of Mingyan Niu's head also hit the body of the black golden giant sickle mantis. The black gold giant mirror mantis was knocked upside down and flew out, and a huge wound was left on the body of Mingyan Niu's head. Mingyan Niu roared furiously. Under his control, the Mingyan arena gradually shrank, making the opponent unable to fly, and could only face him head-on. Meet on a narrow road, the brave wins. Mingyan bullhead is like a fearless warrior, once again launching a charge against the black golden giant sickle mantis. The black gold mirror mantis is now trapped in the Hellfire arena. It has no other way to leave except to kill Mingyan Niatu. But the terrifying thing about the Mingyan arena is not just trapping the enemy. The attributes of Mingyan bullhead can also be improved. Moreover, Mingyan Niatu is also a tank-type magic card, and is best at close combat. Even the black gold giant mirror mantis is a warrior-type wild beast. But in a head-to-head battle, Mingyan Niatu will definitely not fall behind. Moreover, the damage caused by the black gold giant mirror mantis to the Mingyan bullhead will only make the Mingyan bullhead stronger and stronger. As long as the Mingyan bull Tao is not killed in seconds, then the black gold giant mirror mantis is definitely not an opponent. Taking advantage of the Mingyan bullhead and the black gold giant sickle mantis fighting in the Mingyan arena, Chuhi and a group of students continued to hunt other wild beasts. Things are getting better. The wild beasts were gradually suppressed. If nothing happens, the wild beasts who attacked this time will stay here forever. But an accident happened. It was the most unexpected link, but an accident happened. Previously, under Hu Han's order, a small team of the suppression army went to rescue the students and ask them to retreat. The team's famine suppression army soldiers rescued a lot of students, more than 500 people. But the number of soldiers in the first team was too small, only 50 people. Even if they use magic card creatures to form a defensive circle around the students. But it is also difficult to resist the attack of the wild beast. The accident happened to a team of soldiers of the famine army. To be precise, it was because several students escaped the defensive circle in fright when they saw the wild beast rushing towards them. In order to bring these students back, Several soldiers of the Desolation Army sent magic card creatures to support them, resisting the wild beasts attacked by 870, resulting in a vacancy in the defense circle. In the end, the wild beast rushed into the defense circle. When the wild beasts rushed into the defense circle, the students who were under protection were frightened and fled, completely dispelling the defense circle formed by the magic card creatures of the soldiers of the Desert Army. For wild beasts, panicked students are the best prey. Many students died tragically at the hands of wild beasts. A small group of people immediately gather up the formation. The leader of the small group shouted loudly. After receiving the order, a small team of soldiers immediately ordered the magic card creatures, gathered the formation, and protected the remaining students again. Listen to everyone, if you rush out of the defensive circle again, we will not save you. Our responsibility is to cover your retreat. We will strive to allow more people to retreat, and will not put the majority in danger for the sake of the minority. The team leader said in a deep voice. Those students rushed out of the defense circle just now, and as a result, those people became the prey of wild beasts. And it also caused the death of some soldiers' magic card creatures, which weakened the power of the defense circle a lot. Chu-hee, are we going to help? Huo Saiyu asked. Huo Saiyu has long been by Chu-hee's side, hunting wild beasts with Chu-hee. No, let's find the other hiding students first. Among the hidden students, many of them still have magic cards, they are a new force. As long as we gather them, our combat power will be stronger. Chu-hee said solemnly. Hearing Chu-hee's words, Huo Saiyu nodded and said no more. Under the leadership of Chu-hee, the students who were hiding in various places were found by Chu-hee one after another. The number of students who followed Chu-hee exceeded 200. Chu-hee and their magic card creatures add up to more than 700. More than 700 magic card creatures, in Chu-hee's view, is an extremely powerful force. But he did not expect that these magic card creatures, which numbered more than 700, had become the target of the wild beasts. The wild beasts all around rushed towards them. Shrink formation. Let the tank type and warrior type magica creatures top the front. Chu-hee shouted. Hearing Chu-hee's words, the students immediately blocked the tank type and warrior type magica creatures in front. The situation is not very good. There are too many magic card creatures now, and they are being targeted by wild beasts. If we continue to gather other students, we will definitely be attacked by more wild beasts. Huo Saiyu said solemnly. When Chu-hee heard the words, his face was a little gloomy. The situation is really bad for them. Will the gathered students be dispersed again? This is simply impossible. Dispersing the students now means sending them to their deaths. And even if he disperses the students now, they won't leave. The only way now is to fight hard. Other than that, there is no other way. Congratulations, Mignon Bullhead has been upgraded to 1 gold star. The prompt sounded suddenly in Chu-hee's ear. A look of joy appeared on Chu-hee's face. This means that Mignon Bullhead killed the black and gold giant sickle mantis. Chu-hee immediately asked Mignon Niatu to come to support. But even if the Mignon Bull Tao was upgraded to 1 star, his strength would be greatly enhanced, but in the face of the desolate beasts that kept coming from all around, it was impossible to block them all with the Mignon Bull Tao alone. A magic card creature is dead. As the magic card creatures of the students died in battle, the defense gradually became weaker. Continue with this situation, and in the end there is only one possibility. The whole army is defeated. All students were killed by wild beasts. Chu-hee, think of a way. What should we do now? Now there are too many people, and there are too many magic card creatures, which have become the target of wild beasts. Let's let the people who don't have magic cards leave, so that we can escape. Someone looked at Chu-hee and said loudly. Hearing this, many people began to agree. Yeah, Chu-hee, we are too many and must be spread out. Otherwise, we all have to die. Chu-hee, make a decision now. Fools, are you human? Our magic card creatures have all died, and you will drive us away. That's right, we also had magic card creatures before, but after we died in battle, we did our best for the team, but you had to drive us away. I tell you, it's impossible. If you don't leave, we have too many people and will become the target of wild beasts. Wouldn't it be better for you to follow the people who were escorted by the famine suppression army, escape with them, and leave here? Those famine troops are so far away from us, so far away, we run over, aren't we courting death by ourselves? The students began to quarrel. Everyone is selfish. Especially now. No one wants to carry burdens around. After all, bringing students without magic cards is extremely dangerous for them. What's the noise? Chu-hee roared. Chu-hee was really convinced. These students were greedy for life and were afraid of death before, and they didn't dare to fight. He finally gathered so many students to fight together. But now in trouble, the students with magic cards want to drive the students without magic cards out of the team, so as to protect themselves. From their point of view, this behavior is correct. They also want to survive. But it is extremely unfair to those students who have not discarded their cards. They also contributed to the team. Once they are driven away, they are dead. Everyone is with me, get out of the camp first. Chu-hee shouted loudly. There is no way now. If you continue to fight in the camp, the situation will get worse and worse. Must retreat first. If he does not retreat, even he might die here. Chu-hee began to lead the students to break through. Chu-hee, we are now retreating, what should the deserted army do? Huo Sayu asked. First send other people away. We come back soon. And now the situation is completely out of control. If we don't retreat, we may all die here. Even if the camp is occupied by wild beasts, we still have a chance to grab it back. Just don't let the wild beast rush out of the camp. And the most important thing now is to save your life. Chu-hee said. Hearing what Chu-hee said, Huo Sayu didn't say more. But it is not so easy to rush out of the camp. The wild beasts continued to attack, making their breakthrough a lot more trouble. The fifth squad to help them. Xie Han yelled loudly when he saw Chu-hee leading someone to break through. Upon receiving the order, dozens of soldiers immediately took their magic card creatures to support Chu-hee. With the help of these soldiers, Chu-hee and their breakthrough went much smoother. In the end, Chu-hee and the others summoned more than 700 magic card creatures, and only 100 magic card creatures remained, and finally withdrew from the camp smoothly. After leaving the camp, the students immediately retreated. Chu-hee and Huo Sayu followed the soldiers who supported their retreat and returned to the camp again. Chu saw the green dragon in Halen Town, still fighting the 100 Eyes demon goat, and a cold light appeared in his eyes. Chu-hee, don't you plan to deal with the 100 Eyes demon goat? Huo Sayu saw Chu-hee look at the 100 Eyes demon goat, saying different things. If you want to end this battle, you can only kill this 100 Eyes demon sheep. Only after the 100 Eyes demon goat is killed, the captain can let his green dragon kill other wild beasts. Although the captain has 4 other platinum level magic card creatures killing wild beasts, it's far from enough. Moreover, the green dragon is his strongest magic card creature. If the green dragon can get rid of the hand and attack other beasts, the battle situation can be more beneficial to us. The most important thing is that killing the leading wild beast will lower the morale of the wild beast. Chu-hee said in a deep voice. After Chu-hee finished speaking, he asked Shadow Mamian to attack the 100 Eyes demon goat. Although the shadow horse face is only the 9 silver stars, it has entered the shadow state, and the shadow arrows he shoots have a murderous hard effect. Let the shadow horse face attack the 100 Eyes demon sheep, even if it can't be killed, but it can also create a chance for the green dragon. Shadow horse face received Chu-hee's order, dived into the shadow, and approached the 100 Eyes demon goat. When he was about 50 meters away from the 100 Eyes demon sheep, he hid. The eyes that grow on the body of the 100 Eyes demon goat are not just uninterrupted releases of black light. And the most troublesome thing is that the eyes of the 100 Eyes demon goat can let its vision see anywhere at 360 degrees. If you want to sneak up on it, it will also be offset by the black light emitted by its eyes. It wasn't that no one went to help the green dragon before, but the magic card creatures who went to help the green dragon to attack the 100-eyed demon sheep were all discovered and eventually killed by the black light. Even the assassin-type magic card creatures are the same. In the eyes of this 100-eyed demon sheep with 360 degrees, without any dead ends, the concealment skills of any assassin-type magic card creatures are useless. Even if the assassin-type magic card creature uses the clone skills to approach, it cannot approach. But the shadow horse face is different. With the silent hunter passive, as long as the shadow horse does not attack, it will not be discovered by the 100-eyed demon sheep. But the shadow horse face did not dare to get too close. After all, the eyes of the hundred-eyed demon sheep would release black light in turn, and there was no pause at all. Moreover, the intensity of the black light is very high, and its penetrability is extremely strong. Not to mention the shadow horse face, even if the mignon bull head is hit, it will be instantly killed. Therefore, the distance of 50 meters is almost the limit. This distance will not be hit by the black light, and the shadow arrows shot by the shadow horse can also hit the opponent. Shadow horse face picked up the bow and put his right hand on the string. A shadow arrow flew out. After the shadow arrow was shot, it kept spinning and hit one of the eyes of the hundred-eyed demon sheep. This arrow shot its eyes directly, and a thick yellow slurry burst out. Seeing this, Lin Junwang had a strange look on his face. He turned his head and looked at the place where the arrow shot just now. But they didn't see the existence of magic card creatures. Strange, who moved the hand just now? Lin Junwang thought to himself. One of the eyes of the hundred-eyed demon sheep was shot out, and she was completely furious. It didn't find where the dark shadow horse that attacked it was hiding. It directly launched an indiscriminate attack. Its eyes all released black light at this moment. But the place where the shadow horse face is hidden, no matter how the opponent attacks, it is impossible to be hit by the black light. When the eyes on the hundred-eyed demon sheep stopped emitting black light, the shadow horse face shot another arrow. With this arrow, one of the eyes on the hundred-eyed demon sheep was shot once again. Whose assassin magic a creature? In our army, it seems that no one has a long-range assassin-type magic card creature. Could it be a student of Tianwu Academy, or a teacher? Lin Junwang thought to himself. At this time, he saw Chu He standing in the distance. Chu He noticed that Lin Junwang was looking at him and nodded slightly. It's him. The magic card creature that secretly attacked the hundred-eyed magic sheep is his. This kid is really not easy. Before gathering students and inspiring them to fight, I thought he was only talented in this area. I didn't expect his magic card creatures to be so strong. This kid is a genius. It would be great if we could let him enter our military headquarters. Lin Junwang thought secretly. Now there is Chu He's shadow horse face attacking in the dark. Lin Junwang did not waste this opportunity, and let the green dragon attack the hundred-eyed demon sheep. The green dragon's mouth kept spewing dragon breath. Dragon breath is dragon flame. The dragon breath breathed out by the green dragon was also very powerful, but it was offset by the black light emitted from the eyes of the hundred-eyed demon sheep. But now Lin Junwang took the initiative to let the green dragon contain the hundred-eyed demon sheep, and let the shadow horse face take charge of the main attack. Platinum level magic card creatures, auxiliary silver level magic card creatures. This is probably the first time since the birth of the magic card master. After all, platinum level magic card creatures are much stronger than silver level magic card creatures. Platinum level magic card creatures assist silver level magic card creatures. If this is said, I am afraid that people will be regarded as fools. And now, this thing is actually happening. For Lin Junwang, he doesn't care about these. I don't think I use a platinum green dragon to help Chu He's shadow horse face shame. In his opinion, killing the wild beast is the most important thing. After the sneak attack on shadow horse, the situation got better. Lin Junwang let the green dragon entangle the hundred-eyes demon sheep. Shadow horse face can easily launch a sneak attack. With every arrow shot, one eye of the hundred-eyes demon goat must be blown out. But the hundred-eyes demon goat, just like its name, really has 100 eyes on its body. But as the eyes on its body were shot and exploded by the shadow horse face, its threat was greatly reduced. In a few minutes, except for the 2 eyes on the head of the hundred-eyes demon goat, all the eyes on the body were exploded by the shadow arrows shot by the shadow horse face. Now the hundred-eyes devil sheep is blind in another sense. With only 2 eyes left, the hundred-eyed demon sheep could no longer pose a threat to the green dragon. The green dragon flew behind the hundred-eyes devil sheep, and ignited the body of the hundred-eyes devil sheep with a breath of dragon. The body of the hundred-eyes devil sheep instantly turned into a huge fireball, burning blazingly. But this is not the end. The green dragon flew into the air with a high-pitched dragon roar. Its dragon wings began to wave rapidly. In front of the green dragon, the bright greenery gathered to form a sharp green crystal. Call out! An ear-piercing crack sounded. The sharp green crystal fell from the sky and pierced the head of the hundred-eyes demon goat. The 100 Eyes Devil Sheep is dead. Lin Junwang immediately sent the green dragon to attack the other desolate beasts. Now the 100 Eyes Demon Goat, the leader of the desolate beast, died. When its aura disappeared, many desolate beasts showed their timidity. Desolate beasts have begun to retreat. Seeing the wild beasts retreating, everyone's faces showed excitement. Clean up the desolate beasts in the camp, don't chase the escaped desolate beast. Lin Junwang shouted loudly. There is no need to hunt down the escaping wild beasts. Solve the desolate beasts in the camp, even if it is blocking the wave of desolate beasts this time. Chu He, your magic card creature really helped the captain of the army to kill the 100 Eyes Demon Goat. How strong is your magic card creature? Huo Saiyu showed an incredible expression in his eyes, looked at Chu He, and said in amazement. In her opinion, this is simply impossible. Chu He's shadow horse face is just a magic card creature with 9 silver stars. The enemy is a platinum level 100-eyed magic goat. In terms of strength, it is equivalent to a platinum 7-star magic card creature. The star rating is nearly 2 big ranks. Logically speaking, Shadow Horse's attack doesn't even have the qualifications to injure the 100 Eyes Demon Goat. But now relying on the attack of the Shadow Horse face, killed the 100 Eyes Demon Goat, although it was not the Shadow Horse face, but the Green Dragon of Lin Junwang. But Huo Saiyu knew very well that if there was no Shadow Horse face attack, Lin Junwang's Green Dragon would never have killed the 100 Eyes Demon Goat so quickly. Hearing Huo Saiyu's words, Chu He smiled. This is not the time to discuss this. First kill the wild beasts in the camp. Now the scale of victory has leaned to the side of the deserted army. There is not much danger in the next battle. As the desolate beasts fled, the remaining desolate beasts also retreated one after another. But more wild beasts were killed. After an hour, the battle is over. Chu He let out a long sigh of relief. In this battle, his Mingyan bull head was upgraded to 1 gold star. The Yin-Yang judge, relying on his passive, Yin-Yang Walker, killed a lot of severely wounded wild beasts without being injured, and was promoted to the 7 silver stars. In the last hour, Shadow Horse face shot and killed a large number of silver and gold rank beasts, and the star level was also upgraded to 1 gold star. Counting the 9 sons and ghost mothers, Chu He now has 3 golden 1-star magic cards. Although magic cards' strength increased very quickly, the battle was too tragic. In the camp, dead magic card creatures are everywhere. In addition to the corpses of the magic card creatures, there are also the corpses of students and teachers from Tianwu Academy. The desert army also suffered heavy losses. The soldiers of the deserted army lost more than 60% of the magic card creatures, and many soldiers died because of the magic card creatures, and they were also killed by the desert beasts. For the soldiers in the deserted army, Chu He sincerely admires them. From the beginning to the end of the battle, they did not take a step back. Chu He couldn't help but think of a word. There is no time to be quiet, it's just that some people are walking forward with the weight. If there are no soldiers from the desert army to guard the wilderness, if there are no soldiers in the steel barriers of the Devil's Cave to guard the Devil's Cave, the desolate beast and the alien magic card master, I am afraid that they have rushed into the city long ago and killed them. This battle, although won, but in Chu He's view, it can be regarded as a defeat in another sense. The students of Tianwu Academy are really rubbish. The waste is beyond his imagination. More than 2,000 students. If all students realize their magic card creatures, it will be tens of thousands of magic card creatures. Using the magic card creatures of the soldiers from the deserted army and the magic card creatures of the students of Tianwu Academy to fight against the desert beasts, you can definitely win more easily. But in the face of the tide of wild beasts, more than 90% of the students escaped. In order to cover the retreat of the students, the soldiers of the deserted army had to disperse their combat power, which led to a disadvantaged situation. Even many soldiers died because of those students. All in all, Chu He feels that the students of Tianwu Academy have failed too much. The wilderness experience this time was also a failure. If not for this time of wilderness experience, perhaps the loss of the soldiers in the deserted army would not have been so heavy. Chu He did not go to help clean the battlefield now. After turning the magic card creatures into magic cards, he walked out of a boardroom and sat down against the wall of the boardroom. He was also very tired in this battle. Although the fighting was all magic card creatures, he had gathered the students before and covered them from the camp. He walked too much. He now feels that his legs are not his anymore. Huo Saiyu also sat down beside Chuhi, holding his calf with both hands. Not long after the two of them sat down to rest, Xiehan walked over to Chuhi and handed them a bottle of mineral water. Chuhi took the mineral water and drank it in one breath. Chuhi, thanks to you this time. If you hadn't gathered that group of students and formed a new fighting force, this battle would have been dangerous. Xiehan, who looked a little embarrassed, said with a smile. Brother Xie, don't praise me. The protagonists of this battle are you. If it wasn't for you soldiers taking the lead, how could it be possible to win this battle? Chuhi laughed. Chuhi is still self-aware. The key to this battle lies in the suppression army. He gathered those students, and indeed formed a strong fighting force. But that's just a solid fighting force. For the left and right battle, there is no obvious effect. Really want to talk about the things that affect the situation of the battle. That is, he let the shadow horse face to attack the 100-eyed demon sheep and shoot all the eyes of the 100-eyed demon sheep blind. But Chuhi did not take credit for himself. Even if the shadow horse Mian had shot all the eyes of the 100-eyed demon goat blind, it would not have been possible to kill it without the attack of the green dragon of Lin Junwang. Xiao Xie, do you know this little brother? Rough laughter sounded. Lin Junwang strode over. Captain Lin, he is Chuhi. My friend. Xiehan smiled when he saw Lin Junwang approaching. There are not many people who can be called friends by Xiao Xie. This little brother helped a lot in this battle. Especially when dealing with the 100-eyed demonic sheep. If there is no magic card creature from this little brother, it would take a long time for my green dragon to kill the 100-eyed demonic sheep. Lin Junwang laughed. Hearing this, Xiehan said in surprise, Captain Lin, you mean the magic card creature that helped you kill the 100-eyed magic sheep, is Chuhi's? That's right, it's this little brother's. This is the first time I have seen such a strange assassin-type magic card creature. When attacking, it will suddenly appear, and after the attack, it will disappear instantly, as if it does not exist. This powerful assassin-type magic card creature is really powerful, Lin Junwang said with emotion. Chuhi, it seems that you have done a lot of credit this time. If you choose to join the army, your achievements this time, plus your achievements in that place, will be enough for you to be promoted to the rank of squad leader. How about it? Do you want to think about it again? Xiehan looked at Chuhi and smiled. Brother Xie, please forgive me. I'm still just a student. The thing I want to do most now is to finish my studies. Chuhi laughed. Chuhi, if you really want to finish your studies, I can introduce you to the School of Military Theology or the School of Fortitude. Even if my face doesn't work, there is still Captain Lin. Captain Lin is the commander-in-chief. As long as he says a word, the Military Theology Academy will definitely accept you immediately. And with your character, studying in a military academy is much better than studying in Tianmu Academy. After you graduate from the military academy, you can enter the army directly. At that time, your merits will also be counted for you. As soon as you graduate, you will become a squad leader. This will definitely envy students who are in the same period as you. If you do some meritorious deeds after you join the army, you will be promoted to squadron commander. Maybe it won't be long before your rank will surpass mine. Maybe in a few decades, you can also become a captain, and then I will go to your subordinates to ask for a living. Xiehan smiled and looked at Chuhi and talked, and drew a big cake for Chuhi. But he can draw this big pie, which is achievable, but Chuhi is really not interested in the military academy. After all, the military academy is also a fully enclosed management. He doesn't want to stay in the military academy all day long. Okay, Xiao Xie, it looks like this little brother Chuhi has no plans to join the army for the time being. Don't force him. Lin Junwang patted Xiehan on the shoulder and said. Xiehan sighed lightly and shook his head. Little brother Chuhi, but Xiao Xie is right. It's more beneficial for you to enter the military academy. As long as you want, I will call the 2 military academies now. You can choose one of them then. Lin Junwang asked Chuhi with a smile. Captain, your kindness, I take it with my heart. 870 I think it's pretty good at Tianmu Academy. Chuhi laughed. Hearing this, Lin Junwang smiled and said no more. He is not a fool either, and naturally he can hear that Chuhi is not interested in going to military academy. After that, Lin Junwang did not continue to say more about this matter. Now he still has a lot of things, and he hasn't stayed for long. But before he left, he said a word to Chu He. If Chu He encounters any trouble in the future, you can find him. Chu He, it seems that Captain Lin admires you very much. I really envy you. Now Captain Lin is helping you back. As long as you don't do stupid things that endanger the country, then no matter what happens, Captain Lin can help you down. Don't think that Captain Lin is just a platinum-level magic carder, but Captain Lin's energy is beyond your imagination. Xie Han whispered in Chu He's ear. After Xie Han finished speaking, he patted Chu He on the shoulder and left with a smile. Chu He, do you really have no plans to join the army? If you join the army and enter this military headquarters, with their appreciation of you, you can be promoted quickly. Why should you refuse such a good thing? Huo Saiyu looked at Chu He after Xie Han left, and asked curiously Road. It can only be said that everyone has their own ambitions. Chu He smiled and shook his head. What Chu He is pursuing now is to become stronger. After this time the wave of wild beasts attacked. Chu He realized that his strength was not that strong. Chu He wants to be stronger. First of all, he has to upgrade his magic card division level. As long as the level of the magic card master is high, he can create a more powerful magic card. Chu He planned to go to the magic cave in Huaidong City after returning to Tianwu Academy this time. After all, Luo Liang told him before that if he wants to go to the magic cave, he can go anytime. The next day, morning, Tianwu Academy. The students who went to the wilderness to practice, and the teachers who led the team all returned. Chu He and Huo Saiyu naturally came back with them. Although the time for this experience has not come yet, a wave of wild beasts has occurred, causing heavy casualties, and the experience can no longer go on. When the freshman students and those who did not go to the experience saw that the number of students returning from the wilderness experience had been reduced by nearly half, some people were in fear, some people were secretly grateful, but more people its sympathy. Those who have not returned are obviously dead. There were originally 20 or 30 teachers in charge of leading the team. But now there are fewer than 10 teachers coming back. They all went to the principal's office and told them all about what happened in the wilderness. After Xiao Chong learned about it, he was furious. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.